All right, what is up, punters and dribblers? Welcome to another live stream here for Penrith v the Roosters. We are going to be on SEN shortly, but we are on the Hello Sport YouTube channel. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Joining us this week, the debut, Timmy Williams and Rugby League Guru. Yeah. Welcome, brothers.
It's about time, boys.
It is about time. Long overdue. How are we doing?
We're doing well. We were saying before show, it's we kind of feel like, you know, when you're a kid and you catch up with your cousins every birthday and Christmas, but mum and dad are always there, and now Kempy's pissed off, and we're
meeting
out
up
for
at
the
the pub.
first time. How
Yeah,
good?
we're all legally of legal age, and we're all sneaking out of the house to go and catch up.
Listen, I love Kempy, but good riddance. You know what I mean?
We were saying before, Kempy will be waiting at home to make sure we all get home safe.
Yeah, he will be checking in. He'll be checking in.
100% he will be.
Now, we are about to get underway here, and once that does happen, a clock check will come up. Punts for the game. I've got Dylan Edwards first try scorer, and then anytime I've got Suali'i and Cleary because they're attractive. What are you boys going?
Scotty Sorensen, the man, first try scorer, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then me multi, Panthers 1-12, Brian Toto, Nathan Cleary, and Angus Crichton.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, you patted that.
What's that
bad
paying?
80 odd to 1.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll own this studio by the end of the night.
I like that. I
Rude?
do. Well, I like it. I like the arrogance of it.
Yeah.
I'm going for another 80 to 1 a deep dive. I thought I'd go for a bit of a about even bet here. So I thought I'd pick someone to represent all of us at the couch.
Yeah.
So Zach Hosking, obviously, because looks more like Zach Hosking than Zach Hosking does. And I looked at you two and I thought, who fits here? And I think I've nailed it. I've gone for you two. You're always next to each other, so I've gone for the two Scots boys, Billy Smith, Angus Crichton.
I like it.
I think is perfect.
Yeah.
And then my one, I was trying to find someone. I've gone for the Panthers left winger, who tonight I'm calling Guruva.
Love it.
That's good. I like that a lot.
And what about yourself, Edward? What are you doing?
Mate, I've got Dylan Edwards and Stephen Crichton.
Anytime.
I've got Angus Crichton, first try scorer. Reason being, punters and dribblers, is when I went to tell Tobler who I had Crichton, meaning Stephen. He said, which Crichton? And he just... I didn't want to let my boy Angus Crichton down by picking another Crichton when I was faced with an option between the two.
A Crichton dilemma.
Like, I'll always pick Angus if I'm picking a Crichton. You know what I mean? If two Crichtons ask me out for dinner, Stephen and Angus, I'm going with Angus every day of the week. If Angus wants me to if one of the Crichtons want me to put on a load of whites...
It's washing. You wash the jerseys.
I'm doing Angus's. It's as simple as that. No offence to Stephen. He's won comps, great player, played Origin. But AC's my boy.
Oh, that's fair. That
Also,
makes perfect sense.
dribble aside.
Speaking of Angus,
just dropped
early
the ball.
knock on. We'd love to see it.
You fucking jinxed him. You jinxed the poor bastard.
Angus!
Oh, no, that's your fault.
It is my fault. You forget your own power, gentlemen. You forget your own power. What have I done? What have I done? He had a look.
Tough.
Dribble aside, run off Luke Keary. They had about 10 minutes together last weekend and he put one through for a try.
Yeah.
Mate, they're a match made in heaven.
Yeah. It'll be nice. It'll be nice to see them back together for what would hopefully be fucking close to 80 minutes.
Now, you two, you obviously know we love a punt, we love footy, but SuperCoach is
That's it.
That's your bread and butter.
it's our home. It's where we feel safe.
Now, we've just got some, just for the people playing at home, we've got some sounds coming through the audio because we are about to be joined by SEN. How far off are we? 20 seconds. So we might just pause that SuperCoach story there, Guru, while we...
Because it's going to be longer than 20 seconds.
Yes.
Know that.
Assuming the SuperCoach yarn. 14 seconds, was that? Oh, 40 seconds. Okay. Was that Zachy Hoskins?
Yeah, it
We all
was.
got him.
No, I haven't got him. Where's Scotty Sorensen, though? Because you know I had a bite at that. Yes.
Go, Scott.
Go, Scotty.
I, too, had a bite at $34.
Yeah.
Know that, gentlemen.
Oh,
Stephen.
Oh, Billy Smith.
Billy Smith in goal.
Billy
Yeah.
Smith.
Looked
Good
in
to
goal
see.
to me. I lost it.
Ooh.
Don't challenge it this early, Billy. Not worth it. Billy's got one of the best-looking brothers you'll ever meet as well.
Really?
Charlie, who we played golf with recently.
Delectable.
Oh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, punters and dribblers. Welcome to another Hello Sport watch party for Penrith v. the Roosters. You have joined us 3 minutes into the game. Currently 0-0 or 0-0 to both sides. It's Tom and Eddie here from Hello Sport. You are also joined by two gods of the rugby league community, certainly our community, our social media world, and more specifically SuperCoach. Timmy Williams and the Rugby League Guru, SuperCoach Playbook, Rugby League Guru. How are we, gentlemen? Thank you again for joining us.
Tim was actually saying on the way in that he thinks his God status extends beyond social media, so
well,
don't sell him short.
You know what? Look, I think his God status absolutely does go beyond social media. I think that's, but I mean, forged in the fires of SuperCoach, I guess, but then also, consolidated in social media.
I think it's a nice time to bring it up. I've actually never heard it from the horse's mouth. You came second in SuperCoach. There was a bloke that beat you running two sides. Now, I heard you tried to take him to the High Court of Australia. Is that true?
Oh, it's going to be a long night. I've kept very coy on this over the last few years. There was. Look, we'll leave it for the High Courts to decide.
Yeah.
I came second back in 2020, the year I launched SC Playbook. So timely, one might say. And in the same year, sort of going into the last round of SuperCoach, my side was set up really well, pretty confident. I'm like, I think I can do this here. The Friday night was the night the Bunnies infamously put 60 on the Roosters, and I was one of the only blokes in SuperCoach who had Cody Walker, who broke the SuperCoach record with a double ton, first bloke to do it, and Cam Murray, who went about 150, who was my man crush before it, still is, obviously, he's everyone's.
Yes.
And we pumping around Cronulla in this bar with all my mates going, mate, you've just won SuperCoach. I'm like,
50 grand?
Don't jinx it, but I know. 50
and
grand.
Second place is 5.
Yeah.
So it's a nudge down.
Yeah.
50 grand. And look, I had a message from a fellow SC Playbook contributor who did a bit of digging around the data the Sunday morning, because I'd been told, word out this time, that the blokes coming 10th and 12th also had Cody Walker and Cam Murray, and that one of them had pipped me by like 20 points or something. I said, you know what? Fair play to you, mate. Too good. It is what it is. Look, again, we'll leave for the High Courts to decide.
Sure. Yeah.
They may or may not have had the exact same team and same trades and same captains the entire year. So could have been the same bloke, could be an anomaly. It's not for me to decide.
No, and listen, the last thing we'd want is for, to get you sued.
Exactly right. So look,
but someone had multiple teams.
Yeah.
Credit to him, you've never seen someone take a $45,000 robbery bet.
It's not like I'd just left a sort of solid earning job and good career to start my own business with about $3 grand in the bank. I would have had anything to do with the 45K anyway.
No,
so
exactly.
Money's overrated.
That's hilarious, and also I feel sorry for you. I just quickly, for those of you listening to us on SEN, or if you're watching us on the Hello Sport YouTube channel, you can call us, you can text us throughout the night. Maybe we'll get Guru and Timmy to rate your rosters if you're a SuperCoach noob. 1300 01 1170 is the number to call. Text 0457 736 736. I say noob with a bit of FOMO in the tone, because this year I didn't do SuperCoach, and I am very jealous of everyone that is doing it.
It's good fun. This is the first year I've actually I'm committing more than I ever have. In past seasons, I give up by around now, around 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. But then I come in tonight and I hear that I'm actually beating Guru.
Are you really?
And it just lights a bit of a fire.
He's one of the 45,000, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 15,000 out of 150. That's top 10%. Not bad.
Oh, back inside to Scotty Sorensen.
Oh, Scotty. Oh,
wow.
Guru's not unlike, let's call him, of the SuperCoach world, Tim Smith. He had a season where he had 40 try assists. Guru had that last year. What did you finish, mate?
300.
300.
Oh,
but
wow, okay.
Very
eventually,
Tim Smithy.
Tim Smith came back to the pack pretty quick the year after, didn't he? Guru's doing the same.
But Tim Smith's still spoken about.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. Will we?
But are we going to be talking about Guru's 300th season?
No.
I'm not talking about it, so no.
What are you
talking about
Timmy's
second, I can tell you.
Where are you at this year,
I'm
Timmy?
4,000, so getting there.
That's still good. I mean, 4,000's nothing to turn your nose up at.
We're building.
He plays the long game.
Yeah,
So when you started it, sorry, I was just getting distracted there. Quick clock check, actually. We are at 32 minutes, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 32, 25. Professional, ladies and gentlemen. When you started SC Playbook, had you been doing it for a while, or was the year you got second, the year you went out on your own to do it?
So I left. I worked at the Telegraph for 5 years. Left there.
Men's, Women's Weekly.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Much better. And December 2019, I left there because I got sick of working weekends, and I thought, you know what? If I can create a business around SuperCoach, essentially it's when the game kicks off Thursday night, I'm here to give people advice on their teams, your trades, your captains, all that. When the game kicks off, you basically trades and that are locked in. So I can't do much more. So I'm like, I could be the only sport journalist on the planet to work Monday to Friday / Monday to Thursday, golf Friday, Arvo, happy days, which was fantastic for a few years. Anyway, so I left there, started SC Playbook, and then 6 weeks after I did it, COVID hit. So rugby league had stopped for the first time since World War II. And I'm sitting there going, fuck, man. Like,
Don't dump us, he didn't say it.
I didn't say it. Yeah. So, it had stopped literally since the first time since World War II. I'm like, how good's this? Anyway, so, hey, Mum, is the lounge still free? Anyway, it did come good, got back on track, footy started up again, and that year I finished second, which was obviously my best ever finish.
Yeah.
So I said timely.
Timely.
That is very timely.
Very, very timely.
And what's your next best finish?
So I've been top 1%, so top 500, 700 the last, I think, 6 years, 7 years.
Oh! Go!
What, you 34 to 1?
Yes!
34 to 1.
Yes! Did you get on or not?
Oh, I'm not even happy for you.
Yes! 34 to 1. Oh, Timmy!
It was immoral.
Oh, that's
Timmy,
so
he's
good. Timmy.
Oh, Timmy's good.
Yes. You know how that one came about? I know you boys love an omen.
We were all on Scott Saracen first try.
Yeah, tell us the omen.
You love an omen. So I was playing footy down in the Illawarra in Wollongong at uni. There's this bloke at training who's just carving up in pre-season. I'm like, geez, he's got a bit to go about him. Anyway, shock surprise. Before round one, he'd taken off. I'm like, where'd that good-looking, good footballer go? And they go, oh, the Mounties pinched him for New South Wales Cup or Ron Massey or something. I'm like, oh, adds up. Anyway, 2 months later, I'm at my brother's place in Canberra, and he had an apartment. He had a new roommate come in, and we're sitting there. We introduced ourselves to each other, staring at each other. I'm like, I know you. And he goes, I know you. I go, what's your story, mate? He goes, well, I started playing footy at West Illawarra, and I was like, that's who I played for. He goes, what's your name? And Scott, he goes, oh, you're Scott Sorensen.
Jeez.
So I'm like, I was training with him
The whole
3 months earlier, and he went from there to, I think it was like Ron Massey to New South Wales Cup to the Raiders, then he was playing NRL.
wow.
Yeah.
In how quick?
Very quick. Yeah, I don't know if it was 3 months, but
No, but I know what you mean.
it was
Like
quick.
in the blink of an eye.
And he's killing it.
And he's killing it, so omens work. I mean, also, he's a gun.
Well, he is a gun, but that
Yeah.
was astute. I'm so glad I followed you. Now, listen, for those listening to us, we will be talking some punting throughout the show, so it probably seems like a good time just to, remind everyone, what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Good stuff, Tom.
Thank you. Listen, you got to get to
I
it.
tell you
got to
what,
do it.
The Panthers, with Liam Martin out, with Kickow leaving, Zach Hosking is a stud, and Scott Sorensen is a stud. They have filled that void deliciously well.
Considering how good Kickout's been for the last few years and how he's just completely changed their attack, the way that you got to remember they started the season with Luke Garner out there. Zach Hosking wasn't in the side. They've made so many changes over the first few weeks. And, it was only a few weeks ago everyone was saying, the Panthers, they're struggling, they can't do it. They were without Fisher Harris and Liam Martin. It's arguably the best front row forward in the game. And Liam Martin, who's a Kangaroos, but because it's the Penrith Panthers, we don't talk about it.
No.
People just want to ignore it and just go, they'll deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. They should still be winning.
Yeah, it's wild. The level these guys are at,
Whereas most teams lose one player and they're completely screwed.
Yeah, and you hear about it all week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
You never stop hearing about it.
Talk about like the depths you go to with SuperCoach and punting as well. It all ties in. But looking at left and right edges on the way here to the studio tonight, I was like, I've got Taruva in my side. I'm like, do I play him in my team or not?
Garuva.
Garuva.
Yeah.
I've got Garuva in my team. Do I play him or not? And I was like, Penrith's left edge comparatively sucks this year. I'm like, what's changed? Well, kick out. So I had a look at the numbers. 50% of their tries came from their left edge last year, kick out side, and it was like 23% on the right, obviously the rest through the middle. This year, it's completely flipped. It's like 20% of their tries or less on the left, the other 55% all right edge.
Really?
And like, what's the difference? Kick out.
There you go.
They've had to find another way.
And isn't it funny because Kickout, I don't think, well, obviously he's not playing with the pectoral issue, but he didn't score
pre-pack.
ever. No, he didn't score at all for the boys.
No, he didn't score pre-pack.
And I know that because I was on him every week.
Yes.
It's even deeper, like when you think back to when they won the comp in 2021, like Matt Burton, they moved to left centre. He got Dally M Centre of the Year that year. They lost him. They bring up Isaac Tungo. They lose Kickout. They bring in Zach Hosking. Like it's just the system is unbelievable.
So Targo was with them last year?
Yeah.
So he won a comp with them last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He debuted the year before as a second rower.
Really?
He killed it at centre last year. And like that's the other thing, is Panthers side, like Taylor May's out for the entire year. When was the last time you heard the name Taylor May?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Once again, no one talks about it.
That's a good point. Because all that you hear out of the Dogs is Addo Carr. Where's Addo Carr back? Where's Addo Carr? When's Addo Carr playing?
Tungo would have been a small second rower, hey?
Yeah, but he's tough.
Like very Britton Nickera vibes, hey?
I'm a huge Britton Nickera fan.
Yeah. 90% of my reasons are for his eyes, though. Those eyes are ridiculous.
Well,
like, they
no,
don't
but
quit.
he runs such a tidy line.
He runs a
Tom.
tidy line, but if he didn't have those eyes, it wouldn't be as tidy.
Well, of course it wouldn't be tidy because eyes can, they add anything to
They
anyone.
can. Oh, hold on, just quickly. A couple of text messages, SMSs, have come through. Gussie from Mackay. Can you ask Guru who lined up his beard looking delicious? Is that a home job yourself, or do you go
No, not
somewhere?
a home job. I thought I'd splash out today. I was sitting at the barber, one around the corner here in Mascot. 3 empty seats. I walked in. I was the only one there. The bloke said, sit in the middle. I went, yeah, sweet. I sat down. About 2 minutes later, 2 guys walk in. So they sit either side of me. And about 5 minutes in, they both look at me and they go, this is really embarrassing, but we're both really good friends with Matty the Water Boy. God, no thanks. And they told me how nice and how funny and how good on the drink Matty is. And I just sat there and went,
lies.
are you for real?
Lies.
How about I'm sitting in the studio, there's 6 blokes here, 7 including myself, only one without a bit of fuzz.
Bit of bush, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that you could get some bush on you.
Nah, tried.
Yeah, but I think the reality is, and you can even ask our producer over there, Tommy Tobler, it's about commitment. Tobler used to be going, no, I can't either.
I did the commitment job through COVID.
Timmy,
It
you've
didn't happen.
He's been at this
love.
for 3 years. Look at him.
I tie into the fact that I haven't hit puberty yet, so like it'll come.
But
Yeah.
you've got to
But
love
until that
bush.
happens-
You got to love bush.
Yeah, you got to be a bush guy.
You got to be a bush guy. You got to commit to it. Because if you do, you'd be surprised at what can happen. Because Tobler was walking around, not too dissimilar to you, 3 or 4 months ago?
Can you get a landing strip going? What can you do?
Nah, nothing. I went for more than 3 or 4 months. It was a COVID job, like most of them. I went for 6 months. They're just little patches, and they were
Really?
disgusting. And when I thought, Scotty,
Scotty
double.
for a double?
Oh,
What about a tickler? Any room for a tickler?
You get
No,
a tickler?
no.
A soul patch?
no. And like even when I thought it got to its peak, I'm like, we're going all right here. There's a bit of motion. No one recognised it, and I was like, well,
Yeah, that's tough because I'm assuming that you have skin-coloured, like flesh-coloured facial hair.
Yeah, blonde.
Yeah.
So it's like they didn't recognise when I did have a
Speaking of Matty the Waterboy, flesh-coloured facial
Yeah.
hair.
You could run a wash through it.
You could put a brown rinse
I
through
got
it.
told to get a bit of moustache tint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could
darken
do
it
that.
up. But then you got a dark stash and blonde hair. It just kind of doesn't add up.
It's
does
a bit
it?
Hulk Hogan-y.
No,
Yeah,
I
but
don't think I'll ever go without. Ever again.
No, I don't think I will. I've trimmed my own beard before, but I'm not good at it. So I'll often go to the barber shop.
Mr. Men's.
Mr.
Bondi
Men's
Road.
Bondi, not an ad, but an ad. And when I do it myself, sometimes I'll accidentally go too short, and then I go, okay, well, now I just have to get rid of it because I've completely effed this up. And it's like life's too short to look like that. You know what I mean?
I used to do it myself, and I remember I went to the barber once, and the first thing he said when I walked in, he goes, you did this yourself, didn't you? Gave it away in my face. Yes.
Great feedback.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Great feedback.
Now, we haven't spoken about the game for a minute. What's going on here? What are we seeing? Lindsay Collins, big, brave, powerful run.
It's probably a good time to bring this up. Guru, I'll go to you first, mate. Do you think that the Roosters can win without picking up like a Nathan Cleary or a Cameron Munster or someone like that?
Do they need to basically just buy an elite
Do they
player?
need an immortal to win?
I've actually enjoyed the narrative you've been pushing the last few weeks because I remember standing at the bar last Friday night at about 2 a.m. with the two of you having an immortals conversation. And
I do remember that as well.
I do remember that you vomited some of it back out on the Monday podcast.
Yeah.
And you took out a lot of context, which upset me a lot. So I'm looking to set the record straight tonight.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
But
Shockingly, the context wasn't anything that was retained on that night.
But it's a big part of my argument for Cronk to be an immortal eventually.
Yes.
Is that the Roosters, they always have a good team, but I mean, the only time they've won a comp in the last 10 years is when Cooper walked in, and they stopped winning them as soon as he walked out.
Yep.
I do think this team can win a comp this year, but I feel like we've been saying the same thing for 18 months. I know on the Monday show we have, when are they going to click?
Yeah.
And it just seems to be mission impossible. Sam Walker's out at the moment. I think me and Timmy share the opinion that Manu at 6 isn't the answer.
Absolutely not the answer. It's horrible.
No.
Stats-wise,
Worse
it's impressive.
than having Sam there?
Yes.
Because when Sam was there, they weren't doing heaps.
Have a look tonight. Have a watch as a James Tedesco SuperCoach owner, but far before that was a thing. Have a look when they go their sweeping plays and he goes to Joey Manu, who'll be first or second receiver, whatever. When he goes Teddy out the back, he gets there, looks up, and it's just not, his instinct is, I'm not that good a ball player, and he pins it under the arm and runs. Which is fine because he's a ball runner, but he's not a 5'8". So all these opportunities where they sweep out the back, Teddy gets a 3-on-2 and gets it right every time. It doesn't happen when Manu's there.
Yeah.
It may happen if they do it on Kiri's edge and Manu's out of it, but Manu doesn't have that in him.
And Manu's a classic. He'll get to the end of the game and he's run for 400 metres. And we all sit there and go, oh, my God, what a game. That's incredible. But, yeah, you know why he's running for 400? Because the blokes outside him aren't getting any ball.
Right. Okay. So what you're saying here on the Hello Sport live stream on SEN and on our YouTube is that Manu is an overrated ball hog.
I wouldn't go that far. But you've got the world's best centre because he's got a brilliant running game.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Playing one in.
Great space.
Yep. Well, I'm not going to be able to not see a hog now, though. You know what I
That's
mean?
the point. That's what you're going for.
Yeah. Yeah. But so what then is the issue they were having, do you think, when Sam Walker's playing? I mean, I hear people say him and Kiri are too similar. Like, what's the benefit? What's going to change?
Well, I personally think it was Sam Walker. When he came into the team, Luke Keary was injured. And they built an entire game plan around Sam Walker, which is when you saw these huge rainbow passes and he was playing off his head. And it was super exciting. We all enjoyed watching the Roosters with this seemingly 15-year-old running around causing havoc. It was unreal.
Yeah.
But now you get Luke Keary back in, and you know the saying that we always use is too many chefs in the kitchen. You're trying to fit this, and people forget Sam Walker. Like he's shown how incredible he is, but he's a teenager learning how to play footy still.
Yeah.
And they expect so much of him. I personally think that Luke Keary, I feel like it's always Walker getting criticism. It's always people always going after him. But like, in what other team are we sitting here going, it's not all gelling, but the 3-time premiership winning 31-year-old ball player never gets spoken about?
Yeah, it's a great point, actually.
It just never gets featured at all. I just think it's a strange situation, personally.
Is Tedesco playing well? I feel like he's not. And I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like he's not playing very well.
Once again, we come back to our point, though. You go to the right-hand side of the field, Teddy never gets good ball because Manu takes it and runs every time, which is what Manu should. If you got Manu at 5'8", that's what you want him to do. But it's all just a little bit. And
it's not even a knock on Manu. It's bless the bloke, but I just think Robbo's made the wrong decision putting him at 5'8", because Manu is a ball runner. As Guru said, he's probably the best centre in the world, but he's playing out of position. I know Teddy didn't have a crash hot start of the season, but it wasn't bad by any means. But since Manu's gone to 5'8", Teddy hasn't done a thing, not through a lack of effort. So what ends up happening, I've seen a lot of people saying, Teddy keeps going to first receive and he's taking ball when he shouldn't be. It's because he's not getting any clean ball out the back.
Yep. So he did have a quiet start, but you're saying he's he's basically become non-existent a little bit.
Not getting any
on the right-hand
opportunities.
side anyway.
And even when Manu's playing right centre, they give him a licence to roam. So all of a sudden you've got two fullbacks on the field. You've got
Scotty.
Go Scott. Go Scott.
Oh, go
Scotty.
Scott. You give that.
Oh, you got to...
Go,
Oh, Peach, you should have given that.
Peach!
Oh,
Dylan,
Dill.
we'll take Dill.
We take Dill.
We'll take Dill. If I get a Stephen Crichton, everyone said that my bet this week was one of the worst bets
I was
they've ever
attacking
seen in their
you,
life.
yeah. Well, which was ridiculous.
They were like, "Oh, how much are you getting paid to say that? That's the dumbest bet ever." Dill Edwards into Stephen Crichton. Is that a dumb bet?
No, it's
am I
not.
taking
No.
crazy
What we
pills?
were saying was that it was a safe job. It
No,
was
no, no.
like
Yeah, but that
when
was-
you had you didn't chase your dreams with that bet. You took the
I'm not talking
the
about-
safe paycheck, the safe job.
I'm not talking about you giving me shit for taking a safe job. I'm talking about the punter and the dribbler saying this might be the worst bet of all time, which never made a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, but you've got to remember that if there's a dribbler saying that to you, they're probably just trying to get your knickers in a knot because it's a dumb comment to start with, right?
Listen, did it get me half knotted?
it
Sure.
got you. It got you
maybe
knotted.
got me half knotted, but now I'm unknotting myself live on SEN. Shout out to you as Dylan Edwards crosses under the post. Kick to come 12-0 Penrith.
Shout out to the SuperCoach players at home as Tyrone Peachy throws his 50th dummy to Garuva on the sideline in 3 weeks.
Well,
He
I
is
know, dude.
killing us.
I got rid of Taruva because I found that Tungo used to ignore him as well.
Just pretend like he wasn't there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Almost as if he thought he was playing on the wing. He'd have a look and go, nah.
Eddie, are you like me and Guru getting Tyrone Peachy in this season into Supercoach?
I haven't got Tyrone yet, no. I haven't got
haven't you?
Tyrone.
Mate,
I don't have him
No.
either. It's you.
Oh,
on
you
your
don't
own.
own him
No.
either?
No.
You muppet.
I don't know. Listen, I'm doing my very best. I know I'm in the presence of greatness, so I'm a little bit embarrassed about my side. Do you want to have a quick look?
Yeah, I think we should go through.
Do you want to have a quick look at my side?
Rate
and
your
just
roster.
Rate my roster. Timmy?
Righto.
I think we want Dior's soon too. Just
Yeah, we'll do deal
Well,
days.
I can guarantee you his will be no chop. What are you coming, Dior? I'm coming first in my league. No, but what are you coming overall, mate? Yeah, like
Righto.
150,000. Because if you're playing with blokes that don't know what they're doing, then you coming first doesn't mean anything. All right.
First things first, are you trying to beat your mates head-to-head or are you going for overall glory?
So head-to-head is 75% of the take.
Yeah.
And then the other 25% is total.
You've got an eye on it, but you want to beat the boys.
You got to beat the boys.
Fanua Blake, gold.
Yep.
Mate,
There you go.
Huge fan of his work.
Well, so am I. Manly, born and
Surely
bred.
Fanua Blake and Payne Haas is where you need to be up
You say
front.
Manly, born and bred?
Yes, dude.
He's a mascot boy.
No,
thank you.
mate. He's Manly, born and bred.
Straight out of
He was born
around
in
the corner.
Manly Hospital.
We
mate.
taught him how to play the game of rugby league and should never let him go. I'm sure Trent Barrett it was his fault probably that he wanted to go.
When did you pay up for Cody Walker?
I've had Cody for like 6 weeks.
Master stroke.
Probably 6 weeks, yeah.
Very good from you. That side looks good.
Side looks
You've-
good.
Put it this way,
There you go.
Guru isn't catching you anytime soon. You've got hooking duo, Grant and Marnie,
Yep,
Beast, Payne Haas. Or when did you get Tohu Harris this week?
this week.
This week. You got the bye next week, mate. Good one. It's all right.
No, but I got Qatar. I got Qatar on the bench. I got Qatar on the bench. Melbourne, Qatar.
How many trades you got left?
26, so also probably more than you.
Jeez, you're flying through them.
Yeah.
28, thank you.
28.
Giving them away. How many boosts you got left?
3 boosts.
3,
Good.
yeah.
What's the boost? See, the boost is something
You
new.
get an extra trade.
Why is that? Well, as in, like, you can just...
So you can make 3 instead of 2.
Sort of like a COVID thing that came in and now they've just held on to it.
Okay.
And everyone's sort of trying to work out the right strategy to use them still.
Right.
It's an interesting aspect.
How much time do you guys spend on, like, I guess, like, assessing strategy?
Don't ask. It's a lot.
Is it a lot?
Oh, it's more than what I'm willing to admit.
See, because
Really?
so
That's hectic.
how do you feel about the fact that mine's vibe? This is a vibe team done in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
10 minutes a week. Yeah.
It'll come crumbling apart.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
very
yeah.
confident of that.
Yeah, he's also lying about that 10 minutes a week.
Swear to God. Swear to God.
It's addictive, though, isn't it? It is.
It's addictive.
I
It's
get
seriously addictive, especially once it gets its claws into you and you've got stiff competition, like in your mates, and all our mates love it, right? So it keeps you animated.
You know the best thing about it? when you get garbage games of a weekend, and let's say you have a big Saturday night and you're a bit dusty, let's say you've been to Magic Round the weekend before and you get home and you just want a good game of footy, and let's just, hypothetically speaking, of course, the first game of that day is the Tigers versus the Dragons.
Yeah.
If that were to happen and you're like, oh...
Poosling, I would call that.
Yeah, poosling. It's a genuine poosling, and we don't want to sit there and watch it. But you go, oh... I've got Stefano Udikamano on my bench.
Yeah.
And you watch that game like it's State of Origin.
Yes.
You do, because you're like, I've got him and I need those points.
I need that kid to rip.
It makes garbage games great.
And also, if you do it responsibly, so does punting. And that's probably a good time for me to just quickly remind the audience that...
Oh, good tackle.
Don't
Sorry.
you scream
Scott
over my
Sorensen.
gambling credit,
No, it was
mate.
Scott Sorensen.
Oh, go Luai.
It was
Go
Scott.
Luai. Actually, I don't really care if Luai scores or not. I would prefer if it was Cleary or Suoliti. But what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Always gamble responsibly, punters and dribblers. Always. But that does make games a little more enjoyable as well.
I also think if you're going to have a crack at SuperCoach, and I think Dior's in a draft comp, is the best.
I tried a draft cop once, and it was in COVID, and it was done over Zoom, and that sucks. Yeah, I want to get
my 14 boys. We get together for a whole weekend down in Kiama every weekend for draft weekend, all with our laptops, all off our heads.
Yeah.
It is
That does sound fun.
far and away.
I feel like I remember you say it, like either seeing you say it on a potty or something with,
Go, Teddy! Go!
Who's that?
Yo.
Oh, that was Alan.
Oh, that's a good tackle. Is that Isaiah Yo?
I was stealing Edwards. I was stealing Edwards. I was like, how was Yo keeping touch
that was
with
Yo.
Teddy?
That was Isaiah Yo.
Was it?
Yeah, 100% it was.
That was Yo. Oh, Chip. Who's that? Jackson?
Oh, that's out. That's out.
Oh, no.
Maybe Teddy is shit now.
Mate, you know, no. Everyone in Dubbo's quick. Everyone in Dubbo's quick.
Yeah, look, I don't know if that's true or not, but Isaiah Yo.
I bet you by an hour in the marathon, do you know?
Yeah, but that's not quick. That's long
Well,
distance,
that's
dude.
speed.
Mate, you'd beat
That's
me by...
speed.
I reckon I'd beat you in a 100-metre sprint.
We need to do a 100 metres.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Eddie, so you're Dubbo, eh?
Yeah.
Can you rate the...
Do not race him in 100 metres.
No, I will.
You're kidding yourself.
Mate, I will. Don't worry. I commit myself to things that I quickly realise I'm not
Can you please
up for,
rate...
like a marathon.
For all the country folk out there, the Western New South Wales country races in order: Duck Creek, Ningen, all the best. Because I've been to all of them.
There's the Warren Twilights, Rippers, Duck Creek, Ripper, Trangy, Ripper,
Trangy, yes,
Cowra,
please take my money.
Rippy, Ripper.
Cowra's good. I went
What
to
else
Cowra
have
in
you
my
got?
day.
Wagga's a belter.
I haven't been to Wagga. Apparently,
Wagga Aggies.
Apparently, what else is apparently fucking... What?
He missed it.
But the best of the
Gundagai, Snake Gully Cup.
To be honest, probably the one that I had the most fun at in year 11 and 12, like year 10, was Cowra, because they were a bit loose.
They were.
A bit looser in the way that it was sort of
officiated,
if that makes sense to the punter and the dribbler. Trangy, I really loved. Trangy on like the 27th, I think, 28th of December. Yeah. Absolute
Awkward
ripper.
time, worth the trip.
Yeah, but it's after Christmas and everyone's
Teddy
frothing.
offload for
Teddy offload, cheese grubber, 6 again. Wow.
So Trangy used to be loose. Really loose. Duck Creek I loved.
Ningen?
Ningen I loved. Yeah, well, Duck Creek, Ningen. Were they Duck Creek was Ningen, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Duck Creek was Ningen. Good, but not as good as Trangy. Warren Twilight's good, not as good as Trangy.
Chooks on the attack.
Trangy probably had my heart, punters and dribblers, if I got to be honest. It's probably where I had the most fun.
Mark it off on the calendar. Get the crew together.
Yeah.
One of the best days.
100%. So
Go to Suoliti, short ball. Come on, Joey.
Oh,
Go, Joey.
Oh, yes, he did. Yeah, he could have
so
passed
big
it.
and strong.
Wow. It would have been nice to see if Suoliti got the ball. Is that why he's not scoring tries?
I would never have an anytime try scorer on that edge with Manu.
Well, Guru, where were you 3 days ago when I put the bet on? Oh, wow. It's a bit of clumsy sort of vibe going on here.
What do you...
Oh, wow. Roosters all over the place here. Oh, goodness gracious.
2 points ineffective offload. We'll take it.
What do you make of the rugby league rumours that Cooper Cronk and Sam Walker not seeing eye to eye?
Tim?
Well, I mean, I don't see eye to eye with you, Guru, but we managed to make it work, don't we?
That's a great point.
Okay, straight bat. Like it.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Obviously, I think it builds off the back of Kyle Flanagan being shown the door. I think it definitely builds off the back of that. And I think as I said before, Sam Walker was brought into that team and was handed the keys. So do what you want, we'll build around you, which I thought was really good coaching. I also think that, like, name me a halfback, not name Nathan Cleary, that I think Cooper Cronk would look at and go, I can work with you.
Yeah.
I'm the best tactician of a halfback that's ever existed, in my opinion. There's been guys that have been better halfbacks, but Cooper just turned the game into chess.
In terms of a man taking a blueprint
Yes.
and executing it.
You got to remember with Cooper, like, he arrived at Melbourne as a winger.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Matty Orford left to go join you guys.
Yeah.
And Craig Bellamy didn't have a halfback.
Won a Dally M, so he did all right.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Went down to the nation's capital, killed it. Or did we kill him?
What a season that was.
I think you might have killed him.
Yeah, we killed him.
The Ox.
So basically, you just, unless he's got the right play, you don't think that he can impart his own wisdom. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think personally it's a common trait with so many of the great players of all time. And like I remember talking to Jackson Hastings on the podcast, and he's saying that he, when he did work with Andrew Johns, and he knew that Joey was just standing there going, why can't you do what I tell you to do? And he's telling him to put in certain kicks, and Jacko's missing it by a metre or whatever, and then Joey gets up with his thongs on, he's got his wallet in his pocket, he's got his phone in his pocket, he's on the phone, and he's hitting the crossbar from 30 metres out, and would sort of say, just do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're kidding, aren't you?
That's tough.
Like I think it's why so many of the great coaches weren't great players. I think I've heard you guys even talk about it before. Like you look at Trent Robinson, handful of games, even like a Cam Serraldo played but wasn't.
Wayne Bennett,
Wayne, like obviously Ricky Stewart doesn't fit into that
Sticky
category.
Please.
But
Sticky's also not really a
You could
great-
argue they haven't had as much success as a coach, though, right?
That's what I was trying to point out. to our little
Timothy.
I was watching the footy. I didn't hear a word you
No,
said,
that's
mate.
okay, mate. Someone's got a question for us here. Reminder to the people at home, 1300 01 1170 if you've got a question, if you want to call up, if you want to text 0457 736 736. Someone whose name is not on there. Boys, how do you think Bronson Cherry will fit into the Dogs' backline next year? I think he'll rip and tear.
I've been watching him train the last few weeks. He's been doing a bit of work with Roger Fabry, and I just happened to be at the same park watching at the same time. I saw Roger at 6 a.m. this morning.
You spend a lot of time at that park. Just
Tell me about it. I never
You nip
leave.
down to the park.
King of cadence.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the absolute best, Rog.
Isn't he like 24, Sherry, or 23?
I think you're saying Roger Fabry. I was like, nah, he's a bit older than that.
I'll tell you, he's 23, 24. But yeah, I think Bronson, like he looks huge at the moment.
He does, doesn't he?
He looks massive, all jokes aside. But I think he's going to do really well for Canterbury. I think he's going to be a really good sign.
How's he moving down there? Has Rog got him moving well?
Rog has everyone moving well.
Yeah,
he does. Rog almost has me moving well down there. He's good at what he does, Roger.
Is he putting you through his paces?
He says to me all the
paces?
time, he's like, why don't you come over? And I just say, you're kidding yourself. Not a hope in hell. Yeah, I like him as a signing. I think that, like, just before it all, it was so unlucky for the Sharks. They had Josh Morris, and they decided the Roosters want him, and they said, you know what, we've got Bronson.
Yeah,
we'll let Josh Morris go.
You can go.
And then within a month, Bronson was gone. It was so unlucky. For them to build back to where they are now, it's incredible what the Sharks
If he hits his straps next year, like, how's that doggy's back line?
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Bird up 7, Oluwapu, who is going, we think, to be incredible. It'll take a bit of time, but unreal. Fox on one wing, Carraz on the other wing, arguably the best wing combination in the competition. Critter at fullback, who I've had my real big reservations around him as a fullback. Just I love a ball-playing fullback. I don't know if he can do it. Apparently Serraldo and Gus are like, mate, we've seen him at Penrith. The bloke has all the moves in the world with his hands. They have no doubt over it. So, like, why would you doubt them to, of all people?
Yeah.
No,
so that there, Averillo is killing it this year.
He's so hot right now.
And then if Sherry comes in and does anything near what we know he's capable of, that is elite.
It's a quick, fast, hot back line.
I tell you what, Gus can put together a rugby league side.
I feel like that
He just
Cherry,
can.
the Cherry signing is like such a Gus signing for me. It's just like, it's the one where it's like he knows how good he is, and he's like, I'm just going to get him before any club's even looking. Like, I'm just going to go and get him. He's sick. He was so good before he left. He looked like, and credit to Cherry, who has like again, I follow him. Like, he hasn't stopped training. He hasn't stopped working. It's almost like it seems like it's motivated him more.
You know who his best mate is too? Kyle Flanagan.
Oh, really?
I reckon it all would have been part of that. By the way, just to interrupt, because just to show you how deeply me and Tim panic about SuperCoach, have you noticed where Liam Martin's come on the field?
Yeah, for Hosking.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to alert to it, but
That's devastating for a Zach Hosking holder.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
In myself.
Or a Zach Hosking draft player like myself.
Why is Zach Hosking... So he's been taken off the field?
Looks that way, yeah.
Is that...
he's, speaking of lookalikes, what's the big...
15? Is that who you're talking about?
Lindsay Smith.
Lindsay Smith.
Lindsay Smith's
Dead
got
ringer.
some... Yeah, dead ringer.
For Zach?
Oh, Scotty, sorry, He's good.
Stop it.
Hope you had him for
He's
doubles,
good.
boys.
I
Did you have him for doubles?
I didn't. But
Oh, goodness
I hope
gracious.
you did.
Timmy,
Mate,
I was going to melt.
I had, listen,
Scotty's so good.
again, I had him at 34s, if you know what I mean.
Scotty's?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so did I.
So there's no problems over here.
No.
With one of the great tee-ups all time.
Yeah.
You don't want to
that's
get greedy and start calling doubles. Like,
No, mate,
You take
you don't
your
wanna do
34.
it.
You take your 34s and you walk away.
I take my
with the full wallet.
34s.
Yeah, 34s. I had a look at it as well. Don't worry. I responsibly had a look at it.
Now, boys, Scotty obviously killing it. The man that puts him through the hole here, one Jerome Luai.
Yep.
Wearing sky blue in a few weeks.
He has to be.
where
I
we
think
sit?
he is now, especially after the Sharks got humped within an inch of their life by the fish. I think you have him there.
I think it would be madness this is just me personally. I think it would be madness in the extreme to take him out. He's won a Shield. He's just won the last 2 comps. I just think that New South Wales our greatest curse is our riches. We've just got so many studs that we just don't know what to do with them. And so we chop and we change and we pick and we two and we throw and we're all over the map. I think if you look at Queensland, who pick and stick and have so much success doing so, to drop Luai if after they won a comp last year it's too bold for me. It's too bold a decision.
So can you get Hines in or not?
14.
So you're running with one hooker then?
I think I am running with one hooker. It didn't really do much when we were running with two.
But last year
time,
we
did
ran
it?
with 2.
It didn't work.
And everyone seems to run with 2.
I don't think we'd be running with 2 if Queensland weren't.
Yeah, which is a bit like...
You know what I'd do? I'd and I don't know anything about rugby league, so let's just start there. But I'd be picking Hines at 14 and just seeing what he can do off the bench. Seeing how he deals with the speed of the game.
I'm very nervous about this series. You know we don't have a game in Sydney till game 3.
Yeah,
We've got to win. We've got to win Adelaide.
I do miss. Listen, I'm all for like taking things on the road, and we are going to Adelaide. Shout out to Ben Menenti of T20 cricket fame.
Of
Ben
putting us up in a
We're
putting
going
us
in a
up in a
box with
box,
Ben,
mate.
putting us up in a box. But I miss the days of Origins being just in Sydney and Queensland.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to
Well,
like 2 this year, 1 there? Like,
Well, it's about growing the game now, mate.
yeah, but like,
It's annoying though. I feel like we haven't had a game 3 in Sydney for about 6 years. I don't know how the chop out was after this out of COVID. We gave Queensland 3. They had 3 games there. We won 2 of them, if we can all remember. And then I don't think we've had a game 3 in Sydney since 2018, 2019.
It's been a while. Yeah, 2018. That was when Teddy scored. That was game 3.
Remember that?
that's were we there?
We were watching on the couch.
Oh,
hugging
that's
and
right. We were.
kissing and
Oh,
hooking
Blue
up.
Eye. Oh,
Peach!
Peachy.
The peach is in.
Yeah.
You beauty.
So was that your multi? What was your multi again?
Not that close. So I had first try scorer Scotty. Then my multi was just about every other player on the field.
Okay, but so Peach wasn't in there?
No, he wasn't in there.
Okay.
So what do you think? What's your heart tell you? Okay, so what's your brain tell you? What's your heart tell you?
I hate when people give me that argument because it's very hard to disagree with. But I just love the look of Hines at the moment. I really do.
I want to come back in and say something. I would pick Hines, but I think...
That's confusing. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
but
I don't know
I get what you're saying.
No.
Yeah.
I would pick Hines, but I think they'll pick Luai for the
I'm
reasons
with
I
you.
just said.
You know,
I'm
the
with
best
you.
thing is we can have this conversation the whole time. The question we should be answering, what's Brad Fittler?
I think Brad
Gotta
Fittler
pick.
picks Luai.
Yeah, I think Freddie picks Luai because he's going to ask Cleary, and Cleary's going to say Luai.
And he's going to ask Yo, and Yo's going to say Luai.
Yeah, I'm exactly with you. I would go Nico. I think he's the best 5'8" available. I think he's a freak.
Freak.
But I'm with you. I think Freddie's going to pick Luai.
That's what... Yeah.
So if he's going to pick Luai, right, Surely if he decided last year, when Cook was a year younger, that he can't go the 80, can he decide this year, oh no, now Cook's sweet to play 80?
Did he say he can't, or did he say he doesn't want him to? Because there was also a yarn today saying he was open to picking a hooker to play 80. As if Cook can't go 80.
Cook, of course he can play 80.
No, I agree, but why didn't he last year?
Because Queensland were doing
the hooker thing.
We were following, not leading. You need to lead the dance.
You got to
dance.
lead.
Dig your toes into the soil, Freddie.
It has been a problem for us for a long time. We pick a team to match them.
If we don't, okay, another question. If we don't win this year, how do you remember Freddie as an Origin coach? Because you assume he goes.
His record's not that good.
It's not
if we lose
good
that
at all.
year.
It's already not very good.
Yeah.
Put it this way, with the side we've had, think about this, the side we've had, studs, right? We've won one of the last 3 series.
Yeah.
I almost think if he doesn't,
That's not...
2 of them were almost unlosable.
Seriously. Do you think then if we don't win this series, and I'm not saying that because I think it'll happen, I'm merely musing here, but if we don't win this series, would you say he's been an unsuccessful Origin
Do you think he gets sacked if we don't win this one?
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
At least he should.
He has to.
I think if we don't win this year, I'd sack him. 100%.
I reckon he's got one more. I don't disagree with you, but I reckon he'll have one more in him.
What's his record, Sidat?
It should be 5-0. It should be 5-0.
What is he like? 2 from 5?
He's 3 from 5.
3 from 5.
18, 19.
Is he 3?
20, 18, 19, 21.
Okay.
Is he 3 from 5?
18, we won 2 in a row.
8 wins from 15 games. Thank you, dear.
But in terms of series, it's 3-2. But he should have won 5. This was our 8-0 moment.
Yeah.
This was our moment. We lost to one of the worst Queensland. It's not the worst, but the second worst Queensland side of all time. Branko Lee and Edric Lee in the side together. No offence to them, but you know what I'm saying? And Munster went out there and ripped us apart. By himself.
Some would say Tom Turbo would have won us the series last year. Some would say he lost it because he didn't play and did his hammy again.
That's really low of you to say that, Timmy, and I'm sorry, but that's the end of the stream tonight, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. How dare you. Halftime 24-0. Geez, 24. I feel like I was looking at it was 12 before. They really got to 24 quick, didn't they?
Peachy, 2 Scotties and a Dill.
So that's 24-0. Panthers over the Roosters. Coming up at halftime, for those of you on SEN and on the YouTube, we got our trivia. We're giving away merch. Now, to win tonight, you will have to call.
Yes.
So usually it is via the YouTube comments.
That's right. Tonight you're going to have to call in. Titanic Trivia not happening right now, but it'll be happening momentarily. I may have to go to the little boys' room first.
Yes, that's okay. Me and Guru can hold down the fort.
So we're winning, just to clarify, punters and dribblers, we are winning a...
there's some Guru... Or you were going to do a Guru Rugby League trivia?
Well, yeah, if you want me to take over the trivia, I've got something special planned for
Okay, you do your own.
Okay.
Yeah, but then we can still do a Titanic one as well, right?
Yeah. Or do you want to run it tonight?
Yeah, let's let Guru run it.
Let's do it. You know what? That feels nice.
Yeah, that does. We're gonna have a break on SEN.
We're gonna put the cap away for a moment.
Yeah. No, make Guru wear the hat.
But also, he said that he's got a special Guru trivia.
Yeah. He's still got to wear the hat.
I'm not opposed to wearing the hat still.
No, you still got to. We're not doing it right this second though. We're going to take a break on SEN and we'll be back after this. We are still on the YouTube though, punters and dribblers. Where did you go, Timmy? Did you go on? Just working out the system. Oh, all right. Yes, please. Timmy. So we are on a break here with SEN punters dribblers. We are just chilling. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, he was clutching at it. Hargraves off with a pec injury. Mate, that's a first half humping.
Yeah, it certainly is, and this is who the Roosters are at the moment, though. Just like, how on earth this team on paper isn't better than what they are? I never have any answers for it. I can't work it out.
No, this is a weird one. How much of this is coaching decisions or coaching generally? Like Trent Robinson, and again, we have been ripping on the Roosters recently, Eddie and I, about the fact that, without weapons, without at least one incredible player, they seem to struggle. Which is, not necessarily, it's partially fair, partially a bit of hyperbole, but this is pretty bad this season.
For sure, and I mean, since 2018, 2019, they haven't really fired a shot.
No.
And I mean, like, I think there's been seasons there where they've had unbelievable injuries and they've managed to finish 5th. And you go, wow, that was a pretty good knock. But at the end of the day, it's the Roosters. They're in the Premierships business.
Yeah.
They're not in the relevant kind of successful
No.
business. And with this team that they've got, like, if we get 2 years down the track and this Penrith side has won 3 or 4 and this Rooster side has won none, that's a travesty.
Yeah.
It is an absolute travesty. I think there's only one halfback in the comp that's won 3 comps. They've got him. It's Luke Keary.
Yeah.
Like they've got the best centre in the world. They've got the best fullback in the world. Their forward pack is stacked. There really is no excuse why they're not competing, not in the Premierships business at the moment.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wonder, and obviously, I just wonder how long it takes, because the Roosters, again, ruthless. Mitchell Pearce, ruthless. You know, like the business of the Roosters, they're happy to make ruthless decisions. This might sound like a completely ridiculous statement, but it's more a question, actually. It's not a statement. How long does it take for Trent to start what's going on? Like, they don't allow more than 1.5 seasons of mediocrity, but especially when their team's really good. Like, if you got a side that's not very good, it's a bit different.
Oh, yeah. I honestly, I'm not sure what the answer is, because I think Robbo has just got this prestige built around him.
Yeah, he certainly earned the prestige now, hasn't he?
He has won 3 comps. There's
Yes.
no doubting that. And yes, Cooper arrived in 18-19. They
Sonny
won
Bill
that
and
comp.
Maloney, the other ones, no disrespect.
But then you've also got to ask, does Cooper go there if Trent isn't the coach?
Yeah.
How much of a role does he play in that?
In getting those players
How much
there.
of a role does he play in getting James Maloney, Sonny Bill Williams?
Did he get Teddy and Cronk the same year?
Same year, yeah.
God, imagine that off-season. Imagine your club bringing in Tedesco and Cronk in the same off-season.
Well, the 2013 off-season, they brought in Maloney, Sonny Bill and Jennings.
There you go.
So
they are
2
good
very
at it,
similar
aren't they?
situations. I think for Robbo, one thing that has really hurt him, and you have a look back at that 18 premiership that they won, as you said, Teddy and Cronk arrive, and everyone says, it took a long time for them to gel. And it was around just after Origin it clicked. It was also just around Origin time where he made the decision to move Isaac Liu into the front row and he moved Radley to 13. They went and won 2 comps off the back of that. Radley killed it. Radley was so important to that side. And ever since then, Radley, he has just done everything he possibly can to stand in his own way.
Yeah.
He was the best 13 in the comp in 18-19, and it wasn't even close. And ever since then, he has just shot himself in the foot time and time again, and let Isaiah Yeo, let Cam Murray, let all these guys
Josh
skip
Allier
ahead of him. Of course, how could I forget?
Yeah.
And I think that him not being there, and if you want to get an idea of how good Victor Radley is, listen to Cooper Cronk talk about Radley, who played with him. He talks about Radley like he's an immortal.
Yeah.
Just how smart he is and how he gets them around the field. I just think if they can get Radley on the field for an entire season, it could change everything.
You're right, though. It feels like Yo and Murray and Alloy obviously have skipped away.
Yeah.
And it was Gerbo before that, so...
Yeah. Well, Gerbo's just punching out 80 minutes in the
Are we
front
back
row
on
now.
here with SEN? Now, really appreciate the heads up there, guys. That was good. Back to SEN. Welcome back to the listeners. That's the sort of professionalism you can expect from us here at Hello Sport. We are back. We were just having a very in-depth conversation about crisis at the Roosters and Eddie basically calling for Trent Robinson to get sacked.
Listen, strong words, Tom. I'll need to see how they perform for the back half of the year, but listen, you can make a pretty strong argument for it.
Now, we've got halftime trivia. So, the number to call if you want to answer this, you are going to get... what do we get? What are the prizes from you?
I'll throw up a Guru football there.
Yep.
Guru footy.
We've got a couple of Guru hats.
Steeden,
We've
Guru
got a
hats.
Beers and Break Evens hat as well. So
Yeah. And we'll chuck in a Hello Sport rose cord.
So it's a mega pack.
It's a mega pack. This is an SEN mega pack.
What do they have to do to get it?
So Guru, who's got the captain's hat, it's usually halftime Titanic trivia, but this is halftime Guru trivia. And so he's got a trivia question here. They've got to call the number to give the correct answer to win. 1300 01 1170. Guru, take it away.
So I thought whilst we're here, I thought I'd just give you a little history lesson as well.
Okay.
And it's all going to come back to the Panthers versus Roosters. That's our theme, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
So to start this one, this is going to be really rugby league nerdy. You'll love it. I'm going to take you back to 1970.
Okay.
This is where our yarn begins.
All right.
So 1970, the grand final that year was between the
1970.
1970 grand final.
St George and
Your team.
Manly Eels.
Manly Dogs.
Manly Sharks.
Manly versus
Manly Raiders.
the team Jack
Manly,
Whiten wants to play for.
Manly Rabbitohs.
South Sydney. Manly and the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Knew that.
Yeah.
Now, that grand final is remembered for the late, great John Sattler.
Yep.
Broke his jaw.
Broke his jaw in all sorts. His coach in that game was Clive Churchill, who he'll come into the story
Heard of him?
later. You would have heard of him. A year now, Manly win that grand final. John
Yes.
Sattler, grand final hero. A year later, John Sattler has his son named Scott, of course.
Who made a tackle in 2000.
Well, hold on. This might be a
Hey,
part
yeah,
of his
just-
trivia.
can
Oh,
you just-
shut up, Eddie.
We'll get there in 40 years,
Sorry,
okay?
you're
Just
right.
relax. Just take it easy. So Scott Sattler's born the year after. 4 years later, the Roosters make the grand final in 1975, right? They win that comp. Very famous grand final. It was actually the record for the highest grand final victory.
Before
Take it away.
2008, Manly Seagulls 14-0 against Melbourne Storm. Michael Robertson, 3 tries.
Melbourne also cheating at the time.
Cheating at the time. Matt Ballon, first try scorer, 8th minute. Whatever. Don't worry. I could go.
So that was 1975. The Roosters win that. Do you know how many more years the Roosters have to wait for another grand final?
I hope it's heaps, Guru.
27.
Yeah, I love that.
27 years. So that takes us to 2002.
Ricky Stewart.
Ricky Stewart. Now, 2 years before that, the Roosters made a grand final in 2000.
Brisbane.
That grand final is famous for 68 interchanges for the Brisbane Broncos. Unlimited. Crazy stuff.
They were the unlimited.
68.
Something like that. 62, 68. It was unlimited, that game. It was bizarre. What I want you to note there, though, is, that Broncos team, obviously star-studded.
Under the cap.
Reportedly. It was a Kangaroos team in a Broncos jersey. Their hooker that night was Luke Prittis. He'll come into the story very, very soon, though. It's all going to link together, okay?
Put the hat on, by the way. Put the hat on. What are you doing?
Sweet.
Put that on. You're
So-
Captain Smith tonight, mate.
Yeah.
Then, 2002, the Bulldogs start the season red hot. They, of course, get their points taken off them. South Sydney fans would say the Roosters Bradburied their way to a premiership that year. They beat the Warriors in the grand final, which there'll be a question about them very soon.
Well,
Interesting one.
I'm pretty sure in rugby league, like the rules of rugby league, laws even, if you meet the Warriors in the final, you've already won.
Yeah, and players that play in that grand final attest to that. They go, mate, as soon as the Warriors made it, in our case, the Warriors beating the Storm, they all knew. They all knew.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that because I do not want to hear another Warriors fan upset this week.
No, that's
It's
fine.
been brutal. So 2002, Roosters win that grand final. 2003 rolls around. Everyone wants the grand final we've been waiting for. Bulldogs, Roosters. They play each other in a prelim final. Roosters win that one. They essentially had to win 2 grand finals, the Roosters. They play Penrith the week after, who beat the Warriors in the prelim. And it's remembered for the Scott Sattler tackle, which Eddie rudely interrupted me with.
Yeah, I know.
before.
I apologise again
So
for
the
that.
story started with Scott Sattler. It now ends with... Sorry, the story started with John Sattler. It ends with Scotty Sattler. And here comes our trivia question. Now, Scott Sattler, he makes the tackle on... Todd Skinny Byrne, a proud Coogee Wombat. Now, Todd Skinny Byrne, he got past the ball by...
Luke Ricketson.
Wrong.
Crocker.
Wrong.
Flannery.
Brad Fittler, correct, Eddie. Well done. Brad Fittler. So Brad Fittler passes the ball to Todd Skinny Byrne. Brad Fittler picks it up off the ground. It was a rebound off the feet of...
Shannon Hegarty.
No. A proud Bondi United boy, went to Waverley College.
Fletch.
No.
Ricketson.
Luke Ricketson, well done.
Yes.
Luke Ricketson. He picks the ball up off a rebound of Luke Ricketson that came off a kick.
Ryan Girdler.
From a Panther. It was Ryan Girdler. Did you know that? Or
I did know that
that's
because
very
Ryan's...
impressive.
No, he talks about it all the time.
The ball was
And he worked with him.
thrown to Ryan Girdler from Luke Prittis, who you will remember from the previous grand final that we spoke about.
Yes.
My question to
Played
you
hooker.
guys, who played the ball to Luke Prittis?
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Now the number 1300 01 1170.
Jesus
That is dribbly as all hell. Who played the ball to Luke Prittis? I love that, Guru. The fact that question started in 1970.
I liked basically when we invited you two fine gentlemen on, we wanted the theme of the night to be like, let's just nerd out on rugby league.
Yeah.
And for you to bring a question to honour Titanic trivia the way you have, which is world acclaimed, critically acclaimed, to see you sitting there in the Captain Smith hat and link Scotty Sattler Scotty Sattler's old man, John Sattler, all the way through the who played the ball to Luke Prittis, who was hooker in 2000 when the Broncos side, basically the Kangaroos side, did the Roosters, was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Now, Isaac from the Gold Coast on the line. Who played the ball to Luke Prittis?
Now, did he say it was from the Gold Coast?
Yes, he did.
Which is fitting because it was Preston King.
Hey!
Well done.
Wow. Goodness gracious. Isaac, how on earth did you know that?
Well, I was thinking Penrith early 2000s, and I had no clue. And then I was like, oh, gee, didn't Preston play for them for a bit there? I was like, yeah, I'm not really a Gold Coast boy. I just go to school up here. But I was like, oh, geez, might as well say Preston. Got nothing to lose here, and there you go.
Well, mate, that was incredibly impressive. Hold the line. We're going to get your details, and you get one of the all-time, in fact, what probably is the greatest...
It's the greatest rugby league pack of all time.
Yeah, it's the greatest rugby league pack of all time.
Yeah,
like that, you know, I don't know, if you say you're at school, then you're probably too young to remember the footy show, like Cracker Fat. Like, you used to get some good stuff there. This puts Cracker Fat to shame, though. This you take this one and you tell mum and dad about it. Congratulations, brah. Thanks for the call.
Thanks. Can I just say something quickly?
Of course you can.
Manly 13 plus forever, Eels final never.
Yes! Okay, hold on, change that. We're also we're sending him two those Roseau cord hats. He's going to have hats coming out of his ass. Really appreciate that, mate.
Drown the kid in hats.
Yeah. See you, mate. We'll take your number and your email and all that, and we'll get it to you. Well, there you go, Guru. That was...
A little trivia for us sitting here off the back of that. We mentioned the 2002 grand final, which was the Warriors-Roosters. Do you know who goal kicked against the Roosters that night for the Warriors?
Oh, it's going to be a forward. It's going to be someone that doesn't make sense.
Who goal kicked for them?
Who goal kicked against the Roosters in that grand final?
Richard Villasanti.
Ivan Cleary?
Ivan Cleary, the
wow.
Really?
Not a forward. I don't know what I'm talking about.
How many of these cord hats you got left, boys?
Yeah. We've actually got quite a few.
A couple of the Rosé ones we've got.
We can go deep all night. That's a good trivia question as well. Ivan Cleary.
So
how many games did Ivan play?
Very handy player, Ivan.
Yeah, he was.
Very underrated.
He played for Manly, I think, at one point, didn't he?
Manly,
Am I making that up? Roosters.
Warriors, Roosters. Yeah, he was around a little bit. Very talented player.
Not as talented as his son, no disrespect. Nathan, who's rocking a business haircut, by the way.
Got rid of the mullet.
186 games did Ivan play.
That's a very respectable rugby league career.
Just a quick clock check on the second half here. We're at 38 minutes, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 13, 38 and 4 seconds.
That was nice, Tom. Great finish to
Yeah.
a really drab countdown.
I like to give, my rule is to give a 10-second.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to match it up, I'm giving them time.
Yeah, fair
You know what I
enough.
mean? If I just go 37 minutes, they're going to go, well, thanks for nothing. Deal.
Where's Crichton? Get back behind him.
Jared Rea-Hargrave's not coming back. Peck,
injury. Timmy, where do you think Nathan Cleary will finish when it's all said and done in the annals of the legends of the game?
I think it's pronounced anals, Edward.
In the annals of the game.
I mean, he's 24, he's got a World Cup, couple of premierships, 3 grand finals.
Couple of
shields. Let's call a spade. He's on track to be probably at the moment.
Crichton.
Not yet, but number 2 to Joey. Anyone that says he's got Joey covered now or he's not far off him, like, please.
Come on, bruh. Relax.
Pull your head in.
Hey, relax. When did Dally Emin come back to me?
He needs... the thing, at least from my perspective, he needs to win an Origin series.
He's got to dominate.
No, as in, like, win it the way that Munster won it.
He's got to own one.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got to have a clear series.
So people are saying, he's not a great till he does it. Well, he's going to be a great
He's
regardless.
a great, yeah.
But if we're genuinely talking, you want to match Nathan Cleary, go in and give us an 05 Joey.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Because we're talking the best of all time.
Yeah. And the thing is, he's got heaps of time to do it. It's not like it's not like time's against him. It's just like that's what it's going to take.
And when you talk about halves, every half who's ever played the game and analysts like that, they'll say you're peaking your career at like 28 years old.
Yeah.
28, 29, you've learnt the game, you're still fit, you're still fast, you're still strong. He's 24?
Yeah.
And I mean, once again, we take Cooper Cronk as an example. Last 3 seasons of his career, 3 premierships.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is
Like,
absurd.
you can stack them very, very quickly when you're at that sort of level. And I think Nath is going to be, like, as Timmy just said, he's 24 years old. He's got 2 premierships and he's lost a grand final.
He's also...
25 this year. I think he's 25
But he's also,
now.
like... He's not, in my mind, not actually close to Cooper Cronk either. You know what I mean? Like he's not near...
It's always the Joey comparisons. What about Cronk?
What about Cronk?
you
Like,
got work
he's
to do.
he's nowhere near Cronk. No. And I say that with respect, but like Cronk slept on. Not necessarily an immortal until I hear you talk about it, and I'm like, oh, geez, he did win the last 3 comps.
Until it's 3 a.m. in the Caxton bathroom with Gerard, and then you go, ooh.
Maybe you're right. Mate, Gerard wanted like 12 immortals from that 8 straight.
Well, he wanted himself to be an
Mate, we
immortal.
were
That's
like,
all he
Gerard,
wanted.
come on,
Yeah,
dude.
Gerard, we were talking about taking 2 from your era,
Yeah.
mate, and now you basically everyone he played with, anyone that got a starting jersey in the Queensland side.
Yeah, you reckon Tony Carroll's a lock for the 15th?
Well, that's the other scary thing when you talk about Joey, and I think it's slept on that, we talk about halves and you say, geez, they played their best footy at 30 plus. Joey didn't get to play any footy at 30 plus.
No.
There's a really good argument we actually miss the best of Joey.
How old was he when he retired?
He retired when he was like 33 or something, but the last
He was
3
in-
years
yeah,
he
it was
didn't play
But
footy.
it was like 2 seasons there. He missed like the whole thing.
Yeah,
When he came back in 2005, he played no footy.
No foot.
No.
And in that 05 season, right, he came back and dominated that series. That season, he played 6... Dior, can you get up 2005 Dally M count? Thurston Windsor.
This is what I
do you-
wanted to do.
This
tonight.
is
is
blow
what I
your
wanted
mind.
to do.
Do you leave your manners at Bloke Studios, mate?
No,
left
that's
you
all right.
there.
That's how you address Dior.
That's exactly how you dress him.
Righto.
I think it's Thurston wins the Dally M that year with 34 points from 25 games. Newcastle came last.
Dead last.
Joey played
Spoon.
16 games and had 34 points.
Yeah, right.
That's
That's ridiculous.
Well,
Thurston got 32 points. Joey 31.
He missed by 1 point. He played almost 10 less games in a wooden spoon side.
Wow.
That is...
In the midst of that, he went to Origin and dominated.
So he basically won that year as well.
Yes.
He's got
That
4.
is unbelievable. Has anyone come close to winning the Dally M from last? Surely not.
Surely not.
That's actually also another good question. Like, has anyone won it from last?
No, I think he'd be,
The closest to even-
To win
Couldn't
31
have.
Dally M points from... Dior, can you have a look? Is it 16 games? It's pretty
Joey,
much the
how many
average-
games did Joey play in 05?
how many games in that would he have got? Clearly the best on the field, but got 2 because they're like, well, they didn't win the game.
Yeah,
so we
we can't give him-
3.
That's true.
And hang on, wasn't Joey picked
Oh.
in 2005 because someone got injured?
Trent Barrett.
Trent Barrett got ruled out. Yeah.
Trent Barrett got ruled out, so Joey came in and played that game.
But bulging disc in his neck was come back from.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's
And played
unbelievable.
like probably the greatest Origin game of all time.
And the year
Yeah.
before that, he hadn't played footy either.
I think hands down
Like-
the greatest Origin game of all time.
Yeah, we did a
Performance.
Well, certainly
individual
we did
certainly
like a
mine.
live stream for it where we watched it again
I've
live,
watched
and
that,
it was heaven.
Yeah.
It was
Oh my-
heaven. I'd do it again. Let's do it
7-7.
after this.
And then they went up to Queensland. This is the last game, 3-1 in Queensland, and put a cricket score on it.
Have you had Anthony Minicello on the pod? Have you guys spoken?
No.
no, we
yeah.
haven't had Mini on.
I spoke to Mini on the potty once, and he told me that you know that try where Joey kicks from halfway and he hits the upright and then
Yeah,
he scores.
yeah.
They were on halfway, and Joey said, "I'll hit the post."
Oh, really?
Yeah, just said, "Be in my pocket. You'll get a rebound here."
See,
That is-
50 metres out.
Mate.
He hadn't played rugby league that year. And
It's
in the
just
Origin
ridiculous.
arena, he's going, "Hey, I'll just hit the sticks from 50 away."
And you know what else? And this is also something that's overlooked. He played that game with mutton chops, which was, I mean,
But
like,
if they look better,
the sideburns on the man, it was so unnecessary, and it was like you should have known.
no,
Oh,
it was
this kid's come to
it
play.
was so arrogant.
Yeah.
Martin Chops Joe and his old pal Anthony Minicello.
And he had the hair was bouncing around.
Oh, it was long hair. It was hair of like, it wasn't business time hair either. It was like, I've just got off the couch here.
Yeah.
I have not even looked at myself in the mirror for the last 6 months.
That's the thing about Joey that like sets him apart from everyone else, in my opinion, is that he used to just snap people in half.
Yeah.
And that's
Like
what
Jonathan
hands
Thurston,
down
like
as
Jonathan
well.
Thurston couldn't one of the great footballers all time, but he couldn't defend particularly well. Whereas
me,
Joey,
when we're having that immortal debate, that's what separates Freddie and Joey. They defended like back rowers as well.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how it's one of the oldest cliches in rugby league and Nazis. Like, it's 50% of the game defence. Yet because it's not flashy, we overlook it. Joey was like the greatest defending halfback of all time.
Yeah. And Nathan's good though as well, right? Nathan's pretty
is
good
good.
defence.
Nathan's very good. Joey was still another level.
Joe used to snap.
Joe used to whack. But to be fair, Cleary started doing it the last couple of weeks, dropping.
Gave it to Josh Curran last week.
Absolutely. What was that game where did they end up winning? Where his defence was almost what he did in that game. There was one a couple of weeks ago.
I just love the fact
Tigers?
No, not Tigers. It was one where I think they won it. Give the ball, dude. Now I can't see this man without.
He doesn't pass it.
He doesn't pass.
Do you
We've ruined him for you?
Yeah.
You have. And, well, we've been ruined before. Can be ruined a player for us defensively, and I won't go into who it was.
No, it's not one we're going into.
No. But
I bet I know who it is. And it would have really hurt you too. I know.
You keep your mouth shut.
It's got to be. I have no contect of this, but is it Daly Cherry?
No, it's not Daly Cherry Evans.
I thought it's another Manly player that can't defend.
No. It's not him. It's definitely not him.
Wow.
Shout out to you, Ches.
No, love Cherry.
Do you think Nathan Cleary needs to invent his own kick?
And when he does invent it, he has to bring out his own VHS of it.
Yeah, like he's got to release like a coaching clinic, the Cleary kick.
Like having your own kick.
Did you have the Joey Banana VHS?
I didn't. I had a Warnie spin bowling VHS though, and I had a ball that was like put your fingers here and here and here. And look, I do take wickets for the Thick Ropes County on a Sunday.
Well, Joey had a football as well that had fingerprints of different passes and kicks and.
That's right.
Damn.
Have you still got it?
I haven't played with it today. It is sort of like it is something special about Joey though, the way that like those banana kicks were just like something that he owns.
And it's funny because he's like, I got him off Ricky, but I'm like, no one remembers Ricky doing it. Do they really? Like maybe you do. I don't. Like I would just remember it being like, oh, this guy's invented a new kick. He was almost. Again, I was a lot younger then, but it seemed like there wasn't anyone else in sort of like even in union or rugby league doing it. Like footballers around the world were sort of looking at Joey going like, holy hell, look at what this guy's doing.
So we've had a question here. It's probably worth bringing up because it sparks healthy debate. What's your view that Joey's 97 premiership was against half the comp and shouldn't be included as a real prem?
Ooh, well...
Because Tom and I have we've spoken in the past about, I think, probably the need to whack an asterisk next to a 97 for either side.
For Broncos, for Manly, for Newcastle.
It is funny how the asterisk is whacked on Brisbane in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but not the other way.
Newcastle, it's never spoken about.
It's a great point.
because Super League was shit.
Well, because Super League didn't win. You know what I mean?
He lost the war.
Was it the victor write the history or whatever?
Whatever. To the victor goes the spoils.
History is written by the victor.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
And it's pretend. They act like, it was a full comp.
You know what? I reckon that the argument would be a little bit different if it wasn't Joey.
True. Yeah.
With legends, you talk about with your Jordans and all that. Like you talk about certain things. Like for example, to take Michael Jordan. Like, obviously, it's all popped up again over the last few years with that documentary. And I'm not a big basketball guy.
No.
But when was the last time you heard anyone talk about Michael Jordan and his time at the Washington Wizards or wherever the hell it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just don't.
The Bullets.
Because it's Joey, you just don't. Because it's Jordan, you just don't.
Let's not bring that up.
No, but that's the whole thing. People don't want to bring it up because he's an all-time legend, and there would be so many people on this stream offended that we're talking about taking Joey's 97 off him.
Not
at
me.
that moment.
But listen, we're not really taking off Joey because Joey came back in 2001 and won with a pretty ordinary side.
But he also, I think that
we're really taking off Matty Johns.
But the play that Joey made in the 97 grand final is also what makes it his premiership still. Like that play was ridiculous, going blind and then back inside to Darren Albert. Also, even though my worst probably rugby league experience, the greatest Ray Warren call I think of all time. It's just like seared into my brain as my favourite Ray. It's like perfect.
It's
the crowd's going psycho. He holds the silences so the crowd can go you can hear the crowd like.
But to go blind in that moment, when you have your brother barking at you to pass the ball, but then you know that Hopewadi comes off his wing and there's going to be room down the blind, is genius.
Especially as well because I think people now look back at it and go like, Joey was just so much better than Matty, but Matty was still the guy back then.
No, Matty was very good.
Matty kicked the field goal to get into the grand final.
Yeah, Matty was very good.
Matty is so underrated, it's not even funny.
But he's also the way that Matty can articulate rugby league. Oh, The way Matty can
Peak.
articulate rugby league, like just to the layman, is
Were you two in the room last week? With Matty?
one of the great regrets of my life that I wasn't, but I have heard that he was running shape.
One of
when
the great regrets of our lives.
Yeah.
Were you there running?
It was the best hour of my life. I got married 3 weeks ago, and it was the best hour of my life.
So Matty Johns with Kempy running shape.
Before you get into it, the most sickening and biggest dog act I have ever seen in my entire life. Me, Guru, Matty, staying in the same room last week, sharing it.
That's a nice room.
Tight quarters, just in this like constant message stream. I organised our room, organised our tickets on Friday night, but they didn't message me Saturday over to say, get back here, we're running shapes with Matty Johns.
Where were you?
I was with the SC Playbook team, having a beer with them at a pub 100 metres up the road.
Why weren't they at the Caxton? Why did you take him away from everyone? You took him away from Matty running shape, dude. You shouldn't have left the Caxton.
Well,
Thank you.
At the time, I wasn't aware.
Matty texts me halfway through and goes, should we text Timmy? I go, no, he deserves this. I don't regret it.
It wasn't until Saturday night at about 11:30 that I realised I had enough sway to get people upstairs Caxton. So at the time, we had a beer up the road.
Oh, sorry, I understand that. It was in the upstairs. It was in the secret compartment area of the Caxton, which is like, I mean, shout out to Sterling in the Caxton. That's such a great spot up there. But having that upstairs area is a nice...
It's lovely, but let's get back to shape with Matty.
So Matty walked in. There was like 8 of us there. There was like myself, Matty, Clutzy and Das, of course. Champions, by the way. First time I've really spent.
Yeah, no, they are. Bloody brilliant beers. Good fellas.
A few other, the Budgie Smuggler people there and whatnot.
Manu gone. He's gone.
Oh, wow. Oh,
he's in all sorts.
I sometimes wonder when these players get hurt, like how I would try and not look concussed. You know, because you can see them doing it where they go down, they start like grabbing a shoulder, and you're like, well...
Just pretend you're stretching your hemi, mate.
So Matty Johns walks into the room, and there's like 8 of us, and we're sort of in a group, and...
Oh, dude, that was something knee-related. Oh, shivers.
Grade 2 hyperextension.
Oh, that looked like it was out. That didn't look like much happened there. We got a caller from Jordan. We'll go to you in a second, brah, if I can call you brah. I just want to see what's happened here with Joey Manu of not a huge passer of the football fame.
Joey of Guru called you a hog fame.
Yeah, clip that up to your.
Cheers to your.
He's off.
We are coming back. We are coming back to shape.
Yeah, we'll come back to shape and we'll come back to Jordan. I feel sorry for Joey there. That sucks.
Just want to check how many points he got as he leaves the field. Nothing.
30.
29 rugby league or SuperCoach points not good enough. It's not what the dribblers wanted.
What do we got for Teddy?
Oh, it's a rolled ankle. It is a rolled ankle. That's
Cop
at
that.
least better. I thought it was like ACL vibes.
Cleary on 61.
Now, quickly.
Taruva on 19.
Punters and dribblers. We do talk a bit of punting while we are doing this thing here. So, got to remind you, what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. If you do want to give us a call, 1300 01 1170 is the number. You can text 0457 736 736. Got a call now. Jordan from Australia. What's going on?
Not much. Just watching the footy, listening to the stream, and I think I've got an answer to Guru's trivia question.
Look, that's good. I'm concerned that you might be like significantly late because someone has already got that. But what is your answer?
I might be very late, but my answer is Preston Campbell.
Yes, you're right. Congratulations, Jordan. You don't get anything though. You know what?
Does Jordan want a bonus question?
No,
You know
we're
what?
going to give...
bonus question.
Bonus question.
Well,
Off the
on the
top.
blower,
On the blower. On the blower, Jordan.
Are you ready, Jordan?
Hold there. Make it gettable.
I'm ready for it.
All right, here we go.
I only
Jordan,
started
you
watching
can
Rugby
hear me,
League
but I can't
in
hear you,
2021.
so see how-
Hold on. Guru can't hear Jordan. Hold on a second, Jordan. Just wait there 1 second. Can you hear him now, Jordan? Talk, Jordan. Say hello, Guru.
I can hear Guru. Hello, Guru.
Who do you go for, Jordan?
I'm a South Coogee Maroubra boy, so I'm a big Bunnies fan.
You're a big Bunnies fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we give him a Bunnies question?
Yeah, give me.
South
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah.
All right. Let's run with.
I'm pumped for this.
Heaps tougher on the
No,
spot.
that's all right. Well, that's all right. Listen,
okay.
what will Jordan?
No.
Jordan, you just wait there, and we're going to get Guru's going to come up with a trivia question for you, and it's going to be opportunity for live radio glory. So just hold the line there for a second, because you've called up impossibly late.
Jordan, I want your 1-17 from the 2014 Grand Final, your Premiership winning side.
Great question.
1-17. Can you get it up to?
Which is fair because if you're a footy fan, your club wins the grand final, you should be able to go 1-17.
Well, he's not going to get it confused with his other premierships, to be fair.
All right.
Jordan, I can hear you Googling
Number
in the background. 1-17, go.
1-17. I've got to say, I've only been following league for 3 years.
Stop
but I'll give
padding,
my best
go.
shot.
Jordan, I will give you the option
version.
to name your 2021 Grand Final side instead then.
Yeah, okay. Give me that. Okay. Number 7, Adam Reynolds. Number 6, Cody Walker. Number 2, AJ. Centers, Campbell Graham. That's one centre.
I'm stoked you've done it in this order.
Fullback, Blake Taft.
No.
Blake Taft.
Yeah, no, he was. He's right.
Was he fullback?
Jordan, don't listen to these dribblers. Yeah, Latrell was suspended.
Trell was suspended, yeah.
So far we've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 5.
Jackson Paulo.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
get. Great
Jackson
get.
Paulo.
I think you're short of centre, are you?
Yeah, he's short of centre.
Short of
Short of Queensland centre.
Jordan, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to bring it home here, bro.
Dane Gagai.
Dane Gagai, nice.
Nah, sorry, Jordan. Yeah, unlucky, bro. Unlucky, too. Unlucky.
Cheers for the patience, boys.
No, that's all right, mate. Thanks for the call. Thanks for listening.
You had a crack, mate.
You had a red-hot crack.
Good on you. Couple of things. Great question.
Great question.
2014 question was great. Now that we learned he was a bit younger, then the grand final question was great too. He obviously, I think, scrambling, trying to pad, trying to Google.
Yes.
It would have been nice. There would have been a freedom, gentlemen, to asking questions like this when you didn't have a safety net. And you imagine the conversations, the yelling and the screaming that went on in pubs pre-internet, you could check, going, I'll bet you $1 million, I'll bet you.
Yeah.
And there's no way you know
I'm going, Latrell's fullback. He was suspended. Bullshit, he was suspended.
You cannot prove a thing.
Yeah, now it's too easy.
I almost think that I'd revel in that time.
Yeah, well,
I'd do better work.
You definitely do better because you especially
because it's all in the cell. It's all in the cell.
Now,
the better liar wins.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to get back to just quickly here. 24-0 still. 20 minutes gone in the second half.
Matt Lodge has
done something wrong. Blood knows.
He's played the ball incorrectly, Tom.
Running shape. So we're talking about magic round, punters and dribblers. We were up and spent a lot of time at the Caxton, one of the great pubs all time. And at some point on the Saturday, Matty Johns rolled into the upstairs area and was running shape with Kempy, I believe. I wasn't there and I regret it, and I will regret it for the rest of my life. But Guru, as you were.
Yeah, so Matty Johns walks in, and obviously Kempy does the Friday show with him once a fortnight or something along those lines.
Morning Glory.
And I cannot remember for the life of me what his nickname is for Matty. He calls for Kempy. He was calling him like the floating sphinx. Here to protect the universe.
The floating sphinx.
Something like that. Yeah, it made no sense.
It was definitely the sphinx.
It was, and I could tell Kempy also had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah, right. Like
No idea whatsoever.
following.
But then I remember as Matty eventually left after running shape for an hour or so, as Kempy's walking down the stairs of the Caxton, Matty like stands up and he's like, there goes the floating sphinx off to rescue someone else. We're safe now. He can move on. I saw Kempy walking down the stairs just going, what on earth? Is he? He had no idea what he was talking about.
I'm not getting it.
They're those of, well, to state the possibly the obvious, the big golden tigers out the front of the pyramid. Go, Bizza!
Oh,
Yes!
Oh, wow.
Have you got him too?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a carve-up.
Another one.
Isaiah kicked that to him?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do I feel about the fact I took Tyler out for Crichton? Not great.
Well, dude, you got 20 minutes to go. You got 20 minutes to go.
That's in my multi, actually, so we're back. We're on track.
So hang on. So Matty comes upstairs. You run shape for an hour.
Yeah, it went for about an hour. He grabbed. I think it was Klutz and Das, and he made them stand in a certain spot, and then he just ran up and back at them, telling us how he likes to run the ball and how he likes to go about, with a lot of commentary in between, which I would never repeat on.
No, of course.
On air, of course. I'll tell you later, but I would never repeat on air, and it was the funniest hour of my life.
Hey, what was the context of the shape? Why? What was the shape that you're trying to run, and why? Where? How
it changed. There was like 14 or 15 different, and every single time his support player was Matty, who never did it right. So he was filthy at Matty.
Right.
Running just all over the place. But
Matty, why aren't you giving me a BK unders line? I said hard.
But the best thing was that he had a mate that was there with him, and the mate kept like interrupting and giving his thoughts on the play.
Yeah.
And just the way that Matty dealt with that was just, he'd be talking to go, and his mate would like go to add something, he'd like, no, I'll finish first. And then he'd just keep going. But like when he walked in, we're in a group, and he pretty much...
Did he come up wanting to run shape? Like, was that something? It was almost like
I think he looked downstairs. There was too many people for shape. Then he came upstairs, and he walked up, and us 8 were sort of sitting in a group, and he did it on purpose, but he almost positioned us in a circle and jumped in there. It felt like he thought he was at a paid gig to entertain us. It was the best thing ever. And he's a showman.
He's so good, eh? He can command a room.
Owned the room.
Yeah.
It was like Fletch and Hindy were in the room, but it was almost like they weren't.
Now, we've got a couple of calls here, gentlemen. 1300 01 1170, the number. Nathan Cleary kicking a conversion here with his business time haircut. After To'o goes over. And he's drilled it. He's absolutely drilled it. 30-0 to the Penrith Panthers.
30-0 with 17 to play.
Yeah, panic stations. Dude, put 50 on him, Penrith. This is when you don't have a dog in the fight, and you've already saluted on Scott Sorensen, first try scorer. Shout out to Timmy Williams.
At 34s.
Shout out to Timmy Williams of SC Playbook.
Mate, if you want to listen, I owe you a burrito.
Yeah. Dude, burritos are on us.
Yeah.
Sombreros. Don't give me the other crap.
No. Whenever you want to, this is my promise to you, Tim.
This is a hell of a
after one
promise.
of the great short balls all time. Whenever you want a burrito, you give me a call.
I'll do that, mate.
One free burrito each. So whenever you want, you call me and you let me know where you are, and there's a burrito en route.
I'll hold you to that end.
No. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. And just
100%.
Just add a bit of pulled pork to that debate. Sombreros do the big burrito now. They're not big enough. We'll do a big burrito.
They do a big burrito?
They do a big. It's literally called the big burrito.
I've always felt like a burrito is the perfect size for a burrito.
Yeah, well.
You know what I mean?
I didn't. I used to think I'd ham one of a Sunday night, a bit dusty, and go, that was unreal. Just a little bit more. So you know what they did? They added the big burrito.
And do you reckon that was for you?
Yep.
Damn, dude. Are you a pulled pork guy? I'm just a straight up chicken.
Nah, no. Chicken in a Edo, no.
No.
I'll go a beef or a chicken.
I can cop mixed. But
you'll mix your meats.
No,
you'll mix your meats.
I'm not a mixed meat guy.
Surf and turf.
That's a kebab play, isn't it?
Damn.
No,
dude.
I'm not a mixed meat guy.
I'm not even that. That's huge. Let's get to some calls. Macca from Ronnie. I don't know if that's a place. Ronnie? Anyway, whatever. A what-if question. Macca, take it away, bruh.
Yeah, g'day, boys. It's Bronny, but yeah, sweet. Just got a question for the guru. If you were a first-grade footballer, what would you list down as your junior club? I know you're a 5'8" and a props body, but what would you go for, mate?
I don't think any of them would take me, to be fair. But I'd probably put down.
Billy Smith with a flick pass.
Wow.
Sorry
there. Probably Ronnie from Macca or Macca from Ronnie.
What 5'8" wasn't there to stunt the attack? Just saying.
Oh.
It's getting personal now.
Yeah, Timmy.
Timmy getting real personal now.
Joey Manu off, and they look at that. This flick pass from Billy Smith was a thing of beauty.
Good shape.
That was almost as good looking as his brother.
Good shape. This is good on a shape.
Matty Johns would have been happy with that.
That's a nice flick. That's a nice
flick.
For
Corey Allen to go. We haven't even said his name. Back to Ronnie.
Who would you list, Guru?
So my disgraceful career started at a club called St Charles in Sydney's East. And then in my teenage years, I played for the Southeastern Seagulls. So St Charles is Ryan Cross. That might be it. Genuinely might be it. Yeah, Wallabies
Was your Seagulls' career just a chasing some Premiership glory because you couldn't get in at St Charles? Or
You know a little bit too much. Now, my Southeastern side was stacked. We had 2 or 3 Aussie schoolboys. I can't remember who the hooker was, but he wasn't an international, and I think I was the 3rd choice hooker. But definitely was in the grand final photo. So I don't know who this is and why he's got so much information.
This sounded like a setup, this question.
But I wouldn't have struck fear in him, I can guarantee you that.
Thanks for your call, Ronnie.
So you're going with St Charles?
Macca.
I might go with Southeastern and chase Premiership.
Yeah, that's the way. Next, we got Connor from Brookvale. He wants to do a Rabs impersonation. All right. Take it away, Connor. Don't do it. Just do Rabs from the start,
boys.
though. Just go Rabs off the top.
Thank you very much. I'm going to impersonate the 2008 Stephen Menzies try in the grand final.
Great decision.
Now, the boy from Narrabeen. He debuted in 93. Now it's with Stewart. Stewart to Orford. Orford to Menzies.
Go.
Menzies to Robertson. Robertson back to the Beaver.
Go.
Steve Menzies has scored. Feel good. Whoa! Menzies is over the line. It is the parting grand final on Channel 9's Wide World Sports.
Yes. Love it. So dribbly. Love it, Connor.
So dribbly. Connor, well done, mate. Send him a hat.
Yeah, send him a hat. Get
Send
Connor's
him a hat.
details.
Send
Get
Connor
Connor's
a hat.
details.
That was terrific.
You can't call up and impersonate that try and not get a hat.
But also throw a bit of Phil Gould in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest, I know that game in that moment so well, I almost did the Phil Gould and he did it for me. I was very much about to do it.
You were pretty pumped, weren't you,
Oh,
mate?
dude, I was up and about. I felt like I was back there. I had that game on record on Foxtel, and I would go back and watch it when I was having a rough day. I'd just go back and I'd watch it when I was hungover.
Didn't you try to do the numbers once? On how
Dude,
many times you watched?
I'd watched it like at least 20 times by like probably 2010, you know?
Did you go to the game?
No, I didn't go to the game. You know what? And this is potentially, it's not one of the great regrets of my life, but it's certainly something that is like a diehard Manly fan. It's hard to live down.
Where you were
I was at a festival with my now wife.
Cute.
In fairness, we just started dating and she made me go to some festival and I was trying not to know the score. And then the crowd erupted into a Manly chant and I'm going, oh my God. I started like almost convulsing. And my brother just calls me and he goes, oh, it's 40-0. And I'm like, So that moment was still pretty nice, to be honest, at a festival. But
I was out there at that one.
You're at the game?
Yeah.
I will, listen, will I hold it over my wife's head for the rest of our marriage? Yes. Yes, I will.
Can you imagine if she didn't become your
was still at
wife
school.
and she's just
Isn't
some
that
other
wild?
ex who made you miss the grand final?
Yeah, I know.
You can kind of get away with it.
Oh, no,
but
listen, and I'm just glad she did become my wife.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been really tough.
She nearly had to after missing the grand
Yeah,
final.
exactly. Exactly.
Wasn't the worst thing she did.
Go, Teddy.
Oh, Jackson Paulo.
Find him.
Oh.
I'm almost willing to bet that my little mate here hasn't heard your dumping barley story too.
Oh, dude, my missus.
One of my favourites.
Which is what I was alluding to.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. So, and again, now current wife. But
Who's also just one of the greats all time.
yeah, phenomenal, much better than I. But we were all lined up to go on a holiday to Bali. Myself and Steph, and then Eddie and his now wife Ella, friend Hamish and his now wife Carly, and then Jarch and his ex. Sorry, Jarch didn't pull through on that one. But we were all like 2 weeks out from going on this holiday to Bali together, and then I'm driving. I was at uni in Bathurst at the time. I was driving home, and she pulled the plug on the relationship 2 weeks before the holiday, and I was like,
Didn't you say, so what, we're going to Bali?
yeah, I did say, well,
we're not
listen,
going to
dude,
Bali.
I don't think you need to reenact it. You weren't there. But
Isn't that what happened?
it certainly came up in conversation about Bali. And she, in what was probably the most emasculating moment, was like, "We can still go." I'm like, I don't think we'll still go. Anyway, I end up tacking on. I just blew into my mate's holiday with his entire family. He was going like a couple months later. I'm like, "Can I come with your family?"
But before that, he called me, and I'll never forget it. I remember it because I was driving through the Cross City Tunnel. The Cross City Tunnel.
License.
No, it's not. Through the Eastern Distributor in my old car, Fergie. You remember Fergie, Tom? Mazda 323, white, no aircon. And you called me,
to do with this.
and he'd clearly been crying and was crying and was sobbing, actually.
Oh, bullshit.
And that was fine because he'd been dumped. He's like, "Mate," I'm like, "What?" He goes, I'm not coming to Bali."
That is such...
No, it's not.
What?
No, it's not.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with shedding
There's
tears.
nothing wrong. Exactly.
Punters
I
and
don't know why
dribblers.
you get so embarrassed.
Oh, Garuva!
Garuva.
Did Peachy pass that ball to him?
He did.
Garuva saving me from absolute embarrassment.
Garuva.
Anyway,
so Tom went with our hottest mate.
Yeah,
who's
like
also now like
he's
a
an
movie
actor
star.
and he's hot as hell. And so I blew into his family holiday.
Big mistake.
And again, this was like 3 months after I've been dumped that I end up like reusing my ticket with his family. So I'm out of the game. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'd been with Steph for a while at that point. And I'd lost all of my game, right? If you don't know how to, you forget how to flirt with chicks. It's like a muscle. It atrophies. It stops working. So we're over in Bali and we go out one night and literally, I'm not even joking, we go out to Kuta like 30 seconds. Within 30 seconds of walking to this nightclub, this Estonian glamour walks up to Luke and it's like, well, that's his night done. And I'm also way over. I don't know how to dress anymore.
You skipped my favourite bit. Yeah.
I got way too dressed up. So it's hot as hell in Bali. Everyone's in singlets and boardies and thongs. I wore like a long white shirt and pants. You know in Superbad, McLovin, when he's walking to the party and he's like in a vest and Seth and whatever the guy's like, "What are you wearing?" That was me. I don't know why Bracey didn't pull me up on it, but I was like sweating my ass off.
Bali, 40 degrees, so
sweating my ass off. Anyway,
in denim.
Bracey and this girl hit it off within 30 seconds, and I'm not joking, dude. I spent 3 hours walking around this Kuta nightclub by myself, not talking to anyone. One point I sat on the toilet for half an hour. I was like, I'm just going to kill some time here. It was...
Great place to kill time.
And I think that was like the last night we were there. So
Didn't you sleep on the day?
So yeah, I slept like outside next to the pool when I got home because Luke the Estonian lady had come back to the villa.
Obviously.
So I slept outside like a dog.
And I woke up. Take one for the team.
Yeah, but I woke up the next day and the family had obviously felt so sorry for me. Didn't even bother to wake me up and had started cleaning the entire apartment around me. So I just woke up and the entire place is clean and they've just left me there in my own filth on the couch. Anyway, we did get back together and that was because I joined a band. I think she was impressed. So if the amount of dribblers who will DM us now, because I've told that story in the podcast a few times.
Would it be beyond 10?
Yeah, comfortably. They're like, dude, my girlfriend just dumped me. How do I get her back? I'm like, mate, I don't know. Like, I can't really help you, man. I always just say join a band.
I was in a band when I was younger, mate.
There you go. What'd you play?
I was on the lead guitar.
Oh, dude. Maybe we start a band, dude. I'm on the drums.
One of the finest acts to come out of the snowy mountains. Coombe, New South Wales, the Basement Rats.
The Basement Rats.
The Basement
Rats out of Coombe, New South Wales.
Wow, Timmy, maybe we start a super group, a rugby league super group.
What do you got? What were you doing in the band?
On the drums.
That can work.
This works.
I'll sing because I can't play an instrument.
Well,
there's
can
three.
You sing?
Yep.
Oh, can you sing?
Yeah.
Do you think if you get some pipes on you?
I can sing.
You belt something out for us?
What do you want to sing?
I don't know. Well, you know what you've got.
What's your go-to?
Casey Chambers.
We we are not subjecting the fine listeners on SEN to Casey Chambers.
No, I can't sing.
He can't sing. 7 minutes to go here. What do you guys make of this absolute pumping?
It's got ugly quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that looked almost ugly for a second. Wasn't. It was, listen, It was, 24-0 at half-time? And they just haven't let up, really, have they?
No.
The Roosters haven't showed a goddamn thing.
Dave goes to me at halftime. He's like, Sorensen's on 134. He goes, he's my auto emergency.
Rank.
And more to the point, Peachy passed a ball before. We missed that.
Yes, we did. That was nice.
Yeah.
You'll be happy with that, don't you?
Ooh.
There was nothing wrong with that, was it? He slipped into it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I was just worried about him taking his own head off.
How about how bloody Patrick Carrigan got sent off for that hip drop, and then they come out the next day and go, "Oh no, sorry, it was wrong." Like, this hip drop thing's just getting ridiculous, dude. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but for me, with all the like tackles they've outlawed in the past, chicken wing crushes, et al, whatever, cannonballs, like this one seems to be the most subjective and frequently incorrect.
You can't coach it out of a player.
Because it's momentum a lot of the
It's
time.
something they've done their entire career since they've been playing since they're 5 years old, and then they're trying to say, "Oh, it's easy. Like you'll learn to not lift your legs in the air when you do it." No, you won't. So they're
but
gonna
also,
keep
what's lifting? Like, let's say if you're like someone's running past me, right, and I grab them, and they keep running, my momentum
Like
swings
Ezra
me
Mann.
around. And so I swing around because that's the way the momentum goes. If I keep my toes on the ground like an NFL player trying to do a touchdown, is that technically okay? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, yes,
what's the
because-
difference between like keeping my studs planted, or if I'm just dragging my toes?
in terms of what they're looking at, you saw it with Carrigan last night. The tackle was fine. The second his feet left the ground, they're like, bin, gone.
Yeah.
So if a toe was touching the ground, that wouldn't have happened.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because the
So-
toes change nothing.
Yeah. They
Wouldn't the NRL have had a dilemma on their hands when, after he'd been sin-binned, and they would have been sitting there going, okay, do we back in the referee's decision here? Do we suspend Carrigan for a hip drop?
Yeah.
Or do we just keep him in the State of Origin arena?
Scotty Sorensen.
Oh, you know what? On to that end,
Scotty
I
Sorensen.
do respect that they overturned it.
100%.
Yeah.
Surely there must have been someone in that room saying, we are going to look like Muppets.
Yeah.
If
And-
we say the sin-binnable event didn't even occur.
Yeah, it was not even was just not even a penalty.
Yeah.
Like, it was
What's
nothing.
your opinion on how dangerous it is, though? Obviously, they're trying to outlaw it because they think it's dangerous. How dangerous is Ezra Mann hanging on for dear life and losing his feet because the bloke's 120 kilos and he's 75 dripping wet? Where's the danger?
It's
in
as
this
dangerous
moment?
as like the worst case scenario, right? Which is like Hayes Dunster last year, or
Yeah,
was it Mafumaono just like blew his leg apart?
I think a good example, and it's funny enough, it was Pat Carrigan. He had a tackle on Jackson Hastings last year that ended his season. I thought that was a really bad one.
Yeah.
That was a bad one. But I think there are so many that are occurring right now that would have been happening for eternity.
Yeah.
That we have just never picked up on, never noticed. And the thing that annoys me most about most of them nowadays, if the player gets up and plays the ball, no one says anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what frustrates
There's 30
me.
a game.
Yeah.
But if they don't get in, even last night,
Yeah.
Nas, Soft Solomona, he got hurt. If he gets up straight away, there's not a chance that's a sin bin or a penalty.
So do you think that they?
They're almost looking for the milk.
Definitely.
That's our problem in
Yeah.
rugby league. We look for too much. We're
Way
always
too
trying to
much.
find something.
And
There's-
we
was
take
the
it all the
same
way
with-
back, dude. That's the worst bit.
So
They
who
go
Who
all the
split
way
their head
back.
open in the game a couple of weeks ago?
Rapana?
Rapana had a great game for the Raiders.
Marty Tapau,
And then Marty
unnecessary offload
Tapau
fame.
was running to sort of diffuse the kick and then gets he didn't even get in the wrong position. He was just sort of coming through to make like a covering tackle, but then clips his knee on Rapana's head. And no one would have said a word except Rapana's head just
exploded.
starts to leak blood with reckless abandon. Worst I've probably ever seen.
Niagara Falls.
And it's absolutely fine, almost to the point where, well, Rapana's knocked it on because it's a loose carry, but now it's a penalty. Like, just changes the game completely.
And as soon as the blood appeared, you could feel the NRL going, oh, optics aren't good here.
No.
We've got to respond. We've got to do something.
the moment the blood came, it went from a knock-on
Yep.
to a penalty like that.
He didn't get binned though, did he? But he got put on a report.
We'll put on a report. And it was a
no,
What,
penalty.
you're like, what are you putting on a report for? It was so stupid. Some of this, it's ridiculous. But I tell you what, love every time rugby league starts, like at the start of every season. I know the season's fully kicked off when you hear the first time you hear the word inconsistency said on NRL 360. You're like, we're in it, we're on, footy's back.
I just, every single year there is just something that we focus in on and we nail it for 10 weeks and then you get to round 20. Remember the year where you
Oh, no.
Scotty for a hat trick! Oh,
Peach has got another one. Yes. He'll be 800K in no time.
Have you either you got Peach?
I don't know.
Who do you
Oh,
reckon's
there
got
we go.
Peach?
Right, because I forget that you guys
The
are
guy
excited
going
for
up about
SuperCoach.
Peach.
Yeah, but I keep thinking from a punting perspective, which I should mention, for free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. What are you really gambling with? I know I did read that a little out of sequence, and I apologise, but you get it.
The essence of the message was there, Tom.
So, yeah, I keep forgetting that
Are
you
they
guys
going to
are
get to 50
SuperCoach.
here?
I hope so.
I think so, and I think Crichton scores late for one Edward Simpson.
Will
Dude,
that
that'd be
land
so
it?
funny. 46 points, and they haven't, and Crichton hasn't scored
Well,
one.
I had overs last night, and then Xavier Coates goes and scores one of the great tries all time. The ref standing right here in, like, literally looking at the tackle, and rules Olam knocked it on, even though he's there watching him getting falconed.
Yeah.
Was that the best individual no try of all time?
I honestly reckon if that was let go ahead, which it should have been, that's the sort of try that you just play back through the annals of the game.
Through the
Tom.
annals of history.
And
like
he's
the
a guy
English-
that's fighting for a Maroons jersey right now.
Yeah.
God, that would have helped him.
Yeah,
Mate,
I know.
it was basically 5-1.
If Xavier Coates is a chance at a Maroons jersey, I'm a genuine sniff.
You don't reckon?
Oh,
Well,
you
who-
reckon,
so who-
you reckon you're a sniff?
well, if
Xavier
Xavier is, who's that? Who,
Well, he
who
was
are the
there
wingers?
last year, wasn't he?
Who are the wingers going to be?
He's done nothing this year.
Who are the wingers going to be? Talangi,
Cobbo.
Talangi, Talangi hasn't
Yeah.
done much.
What about Hamiso?
Well,
I
he's
reckon he'll go
been
close.
so good.
I'm going to be Cobbo Taolangi.
It's
the
funny
centres?
because everyone said
Val Gagai.
Yeah, right.
when Xavier went to Melbourne, he's just going to go to another level. He's actually arguably
Dropped off
Gone
a bit.
back.
I think
done
this
much.
year he has, but that's also a bit of the storm this year. I think last year was pretty good, wasn't he?
He was all right.
We're all cheering on 50 here, right?
Oh, yeah, we're cheering on 50.
Okay.
we're all, I think, collectively, the four of us, cheering on Stephen Crichton.
Well, I'm definitely not doing that because I didn't punt on him. Now, speaking of gambling, punters and dribbles, I do have to mention one more time this half. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Well done, mate.
Now, I do not want Stephen Crichton to score a try.
You win some, but you lose more.
You do.
Unless you get on Scott Sorensen
Unless you get
first
on
try
Scott
scorer.
Sorensen
In which case, you're killing it.
Which, yeah,
In which case, you get 34s.
That's your next 34 punts covered.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you
literally.
but you do lose more.
No,
You do.
look, you do. Gamble responsibly, all that.
Yeah.
But we were on Scott Sorensen first try scorer. That is just the reality.
Thanks to Timmy.
Thanks to
and Timmy
Tim.
now gets 2 free
burritos at any point.
And he can mix his meats if he wants. I think he's a bit of a sicko for doing so. I think he's
serial killer vibe,
I think he's a
right?
little unhinged. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got people locked up in the basement. But you can mix your meats if you want to.
No, mixing meats is weird. Go, Penrith, go!
Come on. Oh.
Too early. Go, please, please. Good Lord.
Good take.
Oh, Lindsay Collins of Monstars fame taking the ball there.
I don't know why, but I always just find it funny watching sides down 48-4 with a minute to play, how seriously they take it. Like, I know they have to, but surely a part of them's going, this is
they're defeated, Eddie.
this is a joke.
48-4
Like,
is a joke.
look at Teddy going, what are we doing, ref? You're all over us. Looking
like-
for a penalty as if it matters.
Calling the plays, getting a position. Like, you may as well just pull your pants down and wee yourself, really. You know what I mean? Like, the game's over. You've embarrassed yourselves. You've embarrassed your club.
Yeah.
As obviously Manly diehards and also New South Wales Blues diehards,
Yep.
do you want Turbo to play Origin or not?
The reason I don't want him to is because it just doesn't seem like he's right, and I don't want him to feel like,
Go, Billy, dummy, go,
Billy!
Billy! We love Billy.
We love Billy.
We love Billy. Big fans of
We
Billy.
love Billy. That's why you keep trying hard. That's
There
why
you
you
go.
keep trying hard.
$5.10.
Games never. Oh, no, they're looking at it.
Oh,
The
no.
Roosters, they're looking at it.
Don't like it. Offside.
I mean, there are like 90% of the side is offside, it would seem.
Billy's only 9 metres offside, but
But is he run back onside?
No, Kiri doesn't run him on.
So that would be an.
so he still has to get within 10, eh?
Well, he scored the try, though. Oh.
Well, that's not.
No,
what
he's not within 10.
Interesting.
No, they're not going to give this to him.
You reckon he's inside the 10?
They won't
Yeah.
give it to him, I don't reckon.
That's interesting because it is all about that inside 10, but it's very rare that you see those circumstances kicked from in the opposition half.
He
I
was.
think he kicked from about 48 out. That's rare.
Yeah, that's tough. Look, I will say this as someone who likes the players in the Roosters side but hates the club implicitly. I love to see a try taken off him that late in the game.
Back to Turbo. I am not happy with the way that he's moving at the moment, optically.
Physical or mental?
I think it's more mental.
I think it's probably mental. I think that Knowlesy, Bill Knowles, BK, has got in his ear and he said, well, because of your history of injuries, because of your history of hamstring tweaks, we want you to recalibrate the way you move, right? And
See the Roosters ball boy screwing around with the ball.
Was he?
love that.
That's unreal.
But at the moment, he seems laboured. I'd be asking him, bro, do you reckon you're ready for Origin?
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the article to come out. We had a conversation, Turbo and Freddie.
I reckon Turbo would rule himself out.
I'm with you.
Yeah, same. He's a
He's
class
too good a
act.
bloke.
Dude, he fined himself.
This is the guy who goes down to Mona Vale Raiders every Saturday morning and cooks snags.
Well, he cuts onions first, then he cooks the snack.
Without goggles on,
No,
without
dude.
glasses. He wears the tears in
Yeah.
front of the kids, in front of the mums and dads.
So does
He doesn't
Jake,
care.
so does Ben, so does John, and
I can promise you right now,
the rest of the family.
Tommy loves the state more than anyone, except his brother Jake.
Quick side note. Is there a Dean War of the Trebojevic family?
There's a fourth.
There
is.
And he's a great fella as well.
I bet he is.
Luke's a ripper and tearer.
Yeah, he is.
Loves a time.
Yeah, he would. He'd be the best on the piers.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Luke's a hell of a man. And look, I think I've bumped into him once. He could have played.
I ran
Apparently
him
he's
once
the
to the
best.
Newport, actually.
Apparently he's the best Trebojevic. He just couldn't be bothered. He's like, nah.
Well,
Oh, yeah, I like him even more.
How old's he?
Love the
Where does he
10.
fit in?
I think he's either the youngest or second youngest.
I think he's second to last. I think
yeah,
Ben's
he
our
might be older
youngest.
than Ben.
Anyway, I trust that Turbo will make the right decision. If I'm Freddie, legitimately, I'm saying if you want to play, you can play.
Yeah.
And if you don't think you can, then you can't. Then that's fine.
And you wouldn't do it with anyone else because they wouldn't be good enough blokes. But Turbo, you'd be like,
Turbo's a guy
you
you can.
know he's going to give it 100%.
Dude, when he
understands
ran the Corso against that kid and did his hammy, he fined himself. The club was like, we don't need to fine you, dude. Like, what? He's like, nah, fine me. And you know, he donated all that money probably to the Mona Vale Raiders and to the Onions. They had
Yep.
20 grand worth of onions down at Mona Vale Raiders. They're still trying to chop through those bloody things.
But him at centre, just sort of.
Mate, but the thing is, when he's playing centre, right? Like he's actually not centre. He's the rover,
Well,
right?
he's rover.
He's roving, so he
Well, that's
can't.
at least
what's
he's
his
play-
ability to rove? Is he going to be able to rove like he once did? Not rove McManus.
Well, he doesn't
either.
need to rove though. He's roved historically.
Yeah, but that's
Tom.
what he did. That's what he does well for the state.
He's roved historically, but he doesn't need to.
Was that was that some SuperCoach thing? It was Scotty Sorensen 176.
Sorensen 176.
Have
Is
you
that
got
like
him?
the most?
No one has him. I don't know why. Dave's got him.
Dave's got Scotty Sorensen. Yes.
Dave's got
What's
him.
your overall rank?
Hold on a
You
second.
just go to rankings.
No, just hold on a second. We've got to say goodbye to our SEN audience.
Oh, do we?
In a couple of minutes here. So after that,
A couple of minutes. We've got plenty of time.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying let's just in like a minute and a half, and then we'll get Dave on here because you can't hear Dave. He's talking his SuperCoach off mic.
That's a great point.
What
Tom
we'll
had to
do
keep
is-
picking me up, pulling me up last week on the
KO live
the KO stream, being like, no one knows who you're talking to, mate. No one knows
He
what
kept
they're
talking to
saying.
people in the crowd, being like, "Yeah, well, you don't know." And I'm like, Eddie, the people on KO can't hear what that dribbler just said to you, so you need to But in fairness to both of us, it was as loud as it could possibly be.
I hear it was quite a stream.
Mate, it was fun.
People are calling it the greatest live stream of all time.
Yeah. After tonight.
this.
Yeah.
I got
After
texts
this.
from four
Same.
mates last week going, Are you seeing Tom and Eddie tonight? I went, oh, maybe. Why? They go, brace yourself.
We were composed on the stream. You know, we
Yeah.
kept our wits about us. We're
Yeah.
professionals.
Straight as a die.
Straight as a die, straight as an arrow. Professionals first, streamers second, and then after the stream, we unfurled and we really ripped in for the nation. But we've got, what do we got? 15 seconds left or 1 minute left? 55-45, good.
I'd like to make a big shout out to Scotty Sorensen, who was terrific tonight. I always knew he was a toiler, a rugby league player of note, a doer, a grinder, a toiler. But to cross over the chalk first, to get me $34, Tom.
Dude, a $34 do FTS is one of the great FTS of all time.
That makes it all worth it. Because I was by the fire tonight, gentlemen. Okay,
You don't cut
say
yourself
so.
off.
No, you say so, mate.
I was just saying, wrap it up because we've got to wrap it up. Like you can sit here and basically lionize Scott Sorensen and undress him with your eyes all you want. We do need to wrap this up for SEN. We've got 15 seconds to go, and we might get taken off air if you start talking about him sexually. But thank you very much to everyone. We're gone. The last thing I said was,
mate, you're tapping me on the leg.
the last thing I say before we go on is talk about him sexually. It cuts
Bang.
out.
The timing was pathetic.
Well,
on that.
to be honest, I thought it was 55-50. I fucked it up. Are we shocked by that?
It's 56:06.
Yeah, no, we're already gone. I
Oh,
thought
so
it
we've
was-
been on for ages.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, now we have. We talked past.
Yeah, right. Listen, professional outfit.
That's some of your best work. That was good.
Yeah.
Dude.
Now you can fucking.
Now we can
you can unsheath yourself, Guru.
Yeah. We can relax a little bit here.
Unsheath, son.
And look, we're not gonna sit here for another hour and a half or anything, but we can just sort of at least take a moment, punters and dribblers. I wanted to. Well, we was talking Dave's side. I did want to know about Dave's side. What's your ranking, Dave? Yeah, Eddie.
Yeah, come on, Mike, mate.
That was the worst timeout I think of in human history.
So I don't know if draft is ranked differently. It must be, right?
Completely different, yeah.
So I'm 1,000.
Draft?
Nah, we want your classic. Mate.
No.
Have you got a classic
Only
team?
I care about your draft.
You ever got a classic team?
okay.
Hold on a second. Wait.
Why?
Because I play draft. It's cooler.
Wait. So draft is just what you do, though, right? Or is that?
I do both. So draft is where every player can only be owned by one person.
Okay. Sorry.
I think it's the superior way, but it's not the popular way.
Okay. You think it's superior way?
It's not, but it's not superior because no one does it. And there's so much luck involved.
Oh.
Like if you get the first draft, you got to pick up the scraps.
I don't have a fight live on YouTube, but he's begging for it.
Yeah. You're gonna punch him on.
It's luck.
You guys talk. I'll get us a drink, Edward.
It's definitely luck.
You haven't experienced a draft day, my friend. I'm telling you. You have not.
Okay. How much research do you do for a draft day before you talk, Dave?
So much.
How much? Like what?
Mate.
What sort of? Okay, so you go down to Kiama, is it for the weekend away with the boys?
Kiama Downs, yeah.
How much paperwork do you take with you?
A lot of it's up here for me, as you know.
Yes. You are like Jay-Z. Yeah. No notes. You just rip in.
No, there. I would take a few A4 bits of paper with me.
But so how do you structure your draft?
Well, I was lucky this year. Our draft order was decided on Melbourne Cup Day. We had a sweeps.
Yep.
And my horse won. Shout out to
Gold Drip.
That's it. Gold Trip.
Who'd
about
you pick
20 to 1.
first?
Nath Cleary was mine. So I knew I had Nath Cleary, so then I could plan after that. But mine's a snake order. So I got pick 1.
And then last.
And pick 28.
And then first.
And then 29.
Yeah.
And then
exactly
50
right.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to worry about pick 1, whereas people that are pick 8 to 14, it's a lottery who you're going to get. So for me, it was a lot easier to plan this year. So I went Nath Cleary. I think I then got Cody Walker, who was a bit of a shaky pick.
What, Cody didn't come up in the first 28?
No, because Cody didn't do well last year in SuperCoach. Not well at all. So that was a bit of a flyer for me, which I didn't expect to go as well as it has, obviously, as you would know, having him in Classic.
I do, yes.
And then Joe Tapane was my other one, who hasn't done fantastically, but...
I flicked Tapane early.
That's good to hear. That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah.
Traded him out.
Yeah, I did. Because I wasn't seeing results. I'm a results-based SuperCoach player. I want to see big numbers. And Fanua Blake and Payne Haas are giving me big, thick...
Can't knock it.
So just to show you an example tonight of, I may have looked calm and collected here, but below the surface, when Zach Hosking left the field...
Well, what did Zach get for
My
us?
soul was torn to pieces, and the other 13 blokes in my comp would have been sitting at home absolutely pissing themselves.
Okay,
I'm scared to look at my phone.
So Zach ended... So I think... I speak for most SuperCoach players. If you've got Zach Hosking, he's gone next week. See you later.
It's not looking good. The one thing I'll say that'll be interesting, obviously when they've won these two comps, the boy tonight, Scotty Sorensen, has been a fantastic bench player. I'm hoping that they bring him back to the bench.
But they didn't take him off. They took Liam.
100%. I'm hoping, and I don't appreciate your reality check. It's not what I want right now, Edward. But I'm hoping that there is a reason for it. No. I don't want this from you.
Oh, hang on. Hosking went for an HIA.
Yeah, he did. That's why he went off the field. But they didn't bring him on as a free sub. They kept him off for a little longer. So it could have been the plan change.
Yeah, they're up by 40 though. So this is the hope I run into next week with.
Interesting.
Because obviously having Nathan Cleary, getting Zach Hosking, who stands outside Nathan Cleary,
yes,
that combo is gold.
And money for jam. So, and it's actually served me deliciously well to this point.
Has it ever?
Yep. Coming fifth in our head-to-head league, lot going on, playing a pretty good season so far, gentlemen.
So imagine that when you're the only one that has Cleary and Hoskins.
Yeah.
So if he loses that spot, that is heartbreaking for me.
It'll kill you.
It will kill me.
I just wanted to say, Eddie not liking draft just reeks of someone who doesn't even have 8 friends to play with.
Wow. Has he even been
Did it
drinking? Wow.
David.
Oh, my goodness. Even Tobler's shocked.
David.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of
David forgets who feeds him and clothes him and houses him.
Oi, leave a comment on what Dave's punishment should be.
Why didn't you let Dave out of the cage last Friday and Saturday too? Just quite.
Oh, for Magic Round.
For comments like that.
Yeah.
Because he can't be fucking trusted.
No, you can't. Dave also produces We Mean Well, the world famous podcast. It's like absolutely, it's almost like the biggest in the country. And
played a shocker.
Dave didn't upload the right episode this morning, so Dave walking around, swinging that dick of his, and it's like, well, Jesus, you'd want to have your garden nice and tidy.
How did Jarch take that?
Well, listen, he probably was nicer to Dave than he was to to us. But listen, I actually, now that Eddie's gone, Dave, I loved it. Don't worry about it. I got you back. That was fantastic. More of that. I forgot the whole time during this stream about the context of that you were getting, like, when you guys are getting excited, I just immediately was thinking gambling, and you guys are like...
We're all SuperCoach.
Yes, which I respect.
And when you get excited about a random player, we're like, why does he have him in SuperCoach? It's bizarre.
Yes. Do you guys have, is Suoliti someone that no one touches now, or did you have him and got rid of him?
He was a talking point at the start of the season, and a few people went to him, but like he's got about 15 or something, to the point that Sonny Luke, who anyone outside of probably SuperCoach owners wouldn't have noticed he was on the field. He put in the grubber for that try with about 2 minutes to go. I'm like, he's just sitting there in my reserves, not scoring for me. I'm like, thank God, 12 points.
So, right, you just like, so in your reserves then, obviously, like, if you got someone in the reserves, you're not getting the points that they accrue,
but
right?
the cash up and generation and dropping still matters. So
their value will go up, and then you can sell them or move them.
Yeah. So, like, you don't want to know the shit that goes on inside my head watching footy because of SuperCoach. Like, when someone pops a ball, and then if it goes to hand, it's 4 points. If it bounces and goes back to him, it's 2 points. I'll watch a bloke go 6 metres instead of 9 metres, and it's 1 point instead of 2. All that shit that you would not believe. Every single tackle is going through my head.
And the best thing about it is we watch it so closely that the game finishes, the player's on a score. Then 48 hours later, it'll update. I would back us to get within 4 points of just about every player. That
Of
we
like
wanna
knowing
watch.
where they're at.
Yes.
Sickening.
How does it work for you when you're watching the Raiders and like your team's doing well against players that you need to do well? Like, are you Raiders first, SuperCoach second, or
Absolutely.
okay?
I
So
call
like
bullshit on
yeah,
that.
so do I. I do as well.
Can I say something? When you said that, that wasn't true.
That wasn't true.
It wasn't true.
It wasn't true. It
No.
just wasn't.
There was a half second, not even a half second of a
That
pause.
was his face. It was his face.
but it was his face, and this like half second of like, absolutely,
All right.
bullshit.
All right, we might have been at the Doggies Raiders game last week, and Jacob Preston, who I've preached about all year, who I've still got in my Supercoach side, scored a double. I was with Guru and Matty the Waterboy in the sense. Might have been a few low-key fist pumps when Preston went over.
Yeah,
But you can win and your Supercoach side go good.
you can sure.
Yeah, but
like,
if-
you
but if-
also can that can
But
also
if the whips
fuck
are
you.
cracking
Yeah.
and you have to pick one of the over the other,
I'm career-driven, Eddie. I've got to go.
Well, mate, it was funny because when Manly got absolutely fucked at the Raiders by the Broncos last week, obviously we were upset, but it was like, from a content perspective, that couldn't have gone better because like we had a crowd full of people just like ripping us to shreds.
yeah.
Whereas
That was
Manly
like we
dominated.
about like you remember when Nico Hines came back and played his first game of the season,
Yeah, and what, got 200 or something?
got 200 points, and we said all week, don't pick up Nico Hines, don't do it. I was a little bit more vocal than him, so he just sat.
Was
there
that when you
quietly.
released your statement?
Yeah, that's what he goes
Yeah.
to me. He goes, "It's going to be a long week." I go, "This is the best thing that could have happened to us."
yeah.
well,
Content's going into overdrive.
I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there going, "This is gonna be a long week." Guru's like, "Content is king."
yeah.
Content is king.
Yes. You got to cop
100%.
it. You got to cop
He
it.
did score 200 that week. Listen to that. Actually, listen to that podcast and listen to your dribbly apology.
Yeah, Guru had awesome mail that Nico wasn't going to play and he was going to be late withdrawal.
Without how, where have you started to not? I'm trying to work out how to phrase this, but I'm not asking you to reveal sources and shit. When did you start to get sources and mail, or have you always just been in and around rugby league circles, or have you got club sources now?
I think between the two of us, we've got most clubs covered, or in some way.
Really?
To some extent.
That's fucking mad. That's hilarious.
I'm going to start calling you for mail.
Yeah,
Just for
I'm
me.
not saying it's good mail.
No, just for
That's all right.
just for me at the pub
Punting mail.
There's a couple of
Punting
clubs
mail.
that it's very hard to get any, like North Queensland. Don't even bother.
Long way away.
Can't get a thing out of North.
Do
The Warriors
you-
are always tough, but now we've got
Now
someone
you
at
might
the
have
Warriors.
someone. Yeah, listen, I'm not knowing.
I don't know who
I
that
think
is.
you
No.
might have someone at the Warriors too.
Yeah, well, but are you actively then or were you we need mail from this club?
I will be upfront and honest and say, hey, SuperCoach purposes, doing.
Yeah, right.
100%.
Yeah.
And then question 2 is, all right, if you don't want me to leak it, sweet, but I still need to know.
I need it for my team,
Yeah, right.
which is a conversation I
yeah.
may have had with our Warriors mate. Hey, draft question, help me.
Yeah, right. That's-
Speaking of on the fly, Jack Whiten, crook, in doubt.
Really? Oh, shit.
Watch this space.
I mean, I didn't go. I'm not on results this weekend because my results sort of betting has been poor and with all the rest of it. But Jack being sick is Moses out. I was like, Raiders.
Yeah, to be fair, Jack Crook, it'd take the Black Plague or something to stop him playing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Did you cry when he was crying?
Did you cry?
There was the cheeky little dribble.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
Ricky's crying. Do you
Yeah.
love Ricky? Is Ricky your coach?
I would give my life for Ricky Stewart.
Really?
Yeah, I love him.
Okay.
You wish your coach cared about your club that much.
Well,
no, I listen.
Listen, we're in a different situation. At the
I
moment.
fucking.
You wish your coach cared about your club.
Mate, I fucking love Ricky Stewart. I reckon he's an integral part of the rugby league ecosystem.
The fabric of the game.
He's the
Edward.
fabric of the game. Hearing him cry, going, am I pissed off, Jack? Yeah, I'm fucking pissed off. I'm like, how do you beat this?
Because if
How
I
do you
wasn't
beat
pissed
this
off,
guy's passion?
that'd mean we don't care for Jack. And we do. We love Jack. But that is it.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Now, is Jack a dog for leaving you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's the future.
But you can, but do you respect his decision to try and win a comp elsewhere because he's not going to win a comp with you? Because you had a chance to win a comp and it was against the Roosters and you didn't get it done?
Well, first and
He claims that
foremost,
premiership.
Ben Cummins cheated us out of comp. No, he didn't. He's all right, Ben Cummins. But
It was.
I just want to see
what the 6 again rule.
Yes, the 6 again rule. I just want to see the Raiders beat the Bunnies in the grand final this year. I love Jack Whiten so much, but can you imagine if the Raiders beat the Bunnies in the GF this year? It was like,
Yeah,
I'm
but like,
leaving
you know
to
what?
go
Yeah,
with
but
the
sure, like, I also
Timmy,
want Josh
surely-
Allier to get the Dally M. Like,
Hey,
what are
we're 4 on the trot.
Cuz.
You don't have the cattle.
All the
cattle.
You don't have
The cattle's
cattle.
the only thing we do have.
You don't
No,
have the cattle.
yeah.
Our pack is unreal.
Yeah, your pack's all right, but you don't have a premiership winning
You reckon
team.
you've
When
got
you
the
talk
cattle.
about cattle,
Is Jamal Fogarty a premiership winning halfback?
when
you
you
reckon
talk-
Sebi Chris is up to it?
when you talk about cattle, you're talking about a pack, not the back line.
No, I'm talking about.
no,
I'm talking about 1 to
everything.
17.
No, I'm talking 1 to 17.
We don't.
yeah.
Yeah, we might have the. We
yeah.
might have the squad, but we got the cattle. The
don't
cattle.
No, the cattle
forwards
is
are
one
good.
to-
Your
no,
forwards
no,
are
no,
good.
The
no.
cattle's 8 to 13 and a couple of benchies.
No,
and we've got
cattle's
that.
cattle's the side.
The cattle's your pack. Is your cattle your
Who are
pack?
you saying? Are you saying the cattle? Are you saying is the cattle your forward pack?
Yeah.
Or your, no, the cattle's your team.
Cattle's your team. That's a saying for team. We don't
Well,
have the cattle.
that's our
Is your
saying.
cattle
for team.
your forward pack or your squad?
Forward pack, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Oh, you reckon?
Come on back.
No way.
He doesn't
Someone's
believe
gotta
that.
help him out.
He doesn't
Yeah.
believe
Someone's gotta
that.
help him
Wait, no, we can throw it to. We'll throw it to the stream.
Shut.
Is the cattle
If
forward
I
pack or team?
When
say
you
you
said
don't have the
cattle, I
cattle,
thought team.
You
it's
thought
the
team?
Yeah.
Oh,
Throw it
no,
out.
he
Throw
turned
it
on
out.
you.
Your cattle's your pack.
No
Cattle pack or
way.
team?
No way. It's
Is
team.
it cattle pack or team dribblers?
team.
Let us know. Listen, if it's forward pack, you've got the cattle.
Yeah,
if
we
it's
got the
team,
cattle
you don't.
there.
When I say
No,
spine, how many positions do you think?
Hooker, halves,
I think 5 in the modern
13,
game.
5. Modern game 5.
I thought 13.
13's only
13.
recently been included.
I'm still 4 because, like, 13's still a plotter at a lot of sides. Like, let's take the Raiders, for example. Corey Horsburgh is our 13.
Yeah,
Or Josh,
but
or
teams,
like, or Josh
but
even
teams,
for
but
us,
teams
Or
that,
Josh Allen.
Yeah,
but teams
and it's
that
not a knock,
win,
but it's-
teams that
Yeah,
win.
Isaiah Yo's part of the spine, but
Yeah.
still, generally speaking,
Cam Murray, part of the
Cam
spine.
Murray part of the spine. Victor Radley
Victor-
part of the spine.
Whereas
Who's
look
the
at Melbourne, they don't really run with one of those, so that's where
Yeah, exactly. It's
Who
not
did they
like
used to run?
it's a like for
Kafusi?
like.
Josh King, definitely not
they
part
used
of
to
the
have,
spine.
like Brandon Smith used to play a little bit. They've never really had a ball playing 13. They've had momentum 13s.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
The overwhelming
Are we
majority
shocked
team,
by that?
full
Yeah,
team.
dribblers indeed, boys. Nah, fair play.
You trying to convince us that you got the cattle to win the comp. I think that was as dribbly as it got.
I thought you were targeting our forward pack. I'm like, that's all we've got.
You do have some good forwards.
Where do we see Manly? Who does Manly play this weekend?
Sharks, 4 p.m. Brookie.
Last game of the round. which
Great
is-
record against the Sharks at home. And the Sharks generally.
Listen, I'm the reason I'm happy at least about just the time slot of the game is that the weekend's over. So like I can't have my weekend ruined, but I can have like my Sunday ruined. But Sundays are already ruined generally by like virtue of the fact the week's about to start. Maybe a little less in our racket. I think we're all very lucky with that. But you know what I mean? Sunday, I still think we win and win well. But was the the crazy to happen? At least
Listen.
Sunday's not fucked.
Was there a question there?
Oh, I've got a question for both of you.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
go.
So we've got an invite to extend to you both.
Oh,
Okay.
So a couple of weeks ago, we went out to Combank Stadium,
Yep.
home of the
I
Parramatta
know of it.
Eels.
Yeah, steepest stadium in the land.
Yes, we were invited to an area called the Field Club to do a bit of promotional sort of stuff. And in a couple of weeks, they play the Northern Eagles, the Manly Sea Eagles.
Oh, fuck.
Northern Eagles.
What's that? The
Excuse
Manly
me?
Sea Eagles.
Jesus Christ, Guru. That one
Anyway.
fucked me up. Oh, my God. That was hard to hear.
We're going to that one as well.
Yeah.
It's obviously free grog, free
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they've extended an invite to get some Manly royalty out there if you two.
What's the date?
It's round 16.
round 16.
Do all round 16. Have a look at the date.
I'm going to.
There might be a bit of corporate bicky in there for you.
Listen.
It's a Saturday
Dave,
5:30
Dave,
game.
need a date. Yeah, you'll see me there, Guru.
17th?
Gets better.
Consider it
It's
done.
also
gets
an Origin
better.
round, so it's the only game on that night.
Oh, nice.
Are we in?
Yeah.
we're in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you ready for the kicker?
What's the kicker?
Half time, we're out on the field catching bombs.
Oh, yes, dude.
By who?
A machine.
Ball machine.
Oh, yes,
okay.
dude. Yeah, I'm in.
So
100%.
get this. When we asked them what it was like, they said no one catches it. They said it goes through, the machine torps
That's
it.
so funny,
They said the
dude.
machine torps, but they've got it set so that it reverse torps. They said it makes a Matt Burton bomb look like a chip and chase.
Dude, I would love the chance.
They've tweaked the machine.
Yeah.
Dude, that's great. Okay, where do you guys live? Like, not giving your address. You guys
Around here.
Do you want to get a fucking limo out there?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Well, you know what I was thinking? I'm like, I wonder what the chance of Rose Hill race has been on that day. Rose Hill into the footy, yes,
Into the
please.
footy.
We'll get a limo.
We'll get a, let's get a
Let's do
limo
it.
out there.
Limo out. Limo out.
Yeah, that'll be
Tom
funny
and
as
I, listen, we love a limo.
We did it. We got a limo to Newcastle last
All
year.
the way to Newey.
And then back the next day, completely fucked.
It was so jubilant.
Oh, the
was
way
so
back
sick.
would have been, that would have been it. Little champers.
Dude, it was actually perfect.
On the way up there, the rain was the heaviest I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
It was horrifically...
We did do a vlog, had to remove it offline for reasons we can't get into. But
Well, listen, we're not going to get into
I'm
that.
not getting into it, but listen, we had to get it offline.
Know this, a vlog was made.
And it was good. It did really well.
And it was one of the great
did great
vlogs all
numbers.
time.
Had to take it offline. Not going to get into it. We'll tell
Behind
you guys
Enemy
off air.
Lines, Volume 1, took it down, not because of anything we did.
No, there was nothing the content wasn't bad. Unfortunately,
There
We
was
had to
just
take it down for,
maybe there was someone in it.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
we can't
I can't be sure.
But we had to take it down. Those who know had to come down. But you know what? You know what's lacking on our YouTube is a limo vlog.
So you need to replace that and get it in again.
We need to get another limo. vlog.
Listen, Tom and I have got a great limo person.
Well, do you know what we want to do? Like, this is actually a thing that we want to do is to buy a limousine. And we don't really know what we want to do
Where would
with
you
it.
keep a
Well,
limousine
have you got a garage?
Yeah, if someone's got a garage, we can leave a limousine in.
That's 30 metres long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
have
know.
you got a garage 30 minutes long?
No.
For a limo? Because we're thinking about buying one.
If we sold that couch, that would be the perfect car park for a limousine.
Not long enough.
I think it would be.
Nah.
You remove the couch? Yeah, it would. But people are now sending us limousine. You can get a
There's two in Dubbo to be bought.
Yeah, there's also one in Perth. We thought about going to Perth and buying it and then driving it back along Ned Brockman's route down to Bondi.
So when we went to where we were there last time was when I almost proposed to Jermaine.
Yeah, that was great. Love you, Jermaine.
That was unreal. And we also that night, we rang him during the week, rang Parramatta, and we said, hey, we've got a mate, Matty the water boy, that wants to come along. And they went, oh, yeah, okay, bring him. Matty put on such a show that at halftime they came to him and said, do you want to come to the Manly game as well?
Oh, really? What was he doing?
The water boys, just doing water boy
Just
things.
water boy stuff.
He's
Performing.
unreal.
Running water.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I think we're going to take this offline now and just enjoy ourselves with the freedom of four young gentlemen in the prime of their lives. Shout out to everyone for tuning in. Shout out to SEN, Lockie behind the scenes, Tommy Tobler, D or Dave with the drive-by from Hell and Eddie, which obviously, once the cameras are rolling, if you see Dave rolling with a couple of black eyes on Monday, you will know why. Eddie will... look.
I haven't forgotten that, and I won't. And listen, it's not gonna powerful retribution won't come tonight. It won't come next week. It will come eventually.
Yeah.
It'll come when he least expects it.
It'll be like a Dave will pick you up at 6 o'clock to go to the game.
It'll be
up.
Dave. It'll be Dave having the greatest week of his life until he's not.
But boys, thank you very much for coming on. It was great to do this. We'd love to do it again as well.
Loved it.
Pleasure, boys. Thanks
Cheers
for having us.
Thank you.
Ciao.